travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton and Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra-high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes. Is it hard for her to admire nature when the camera doubles as the bird's potty? Also, yes. But it's Jane's savings, and if she wants to spend her time watching the digestive habits of the white-breasted nuthatch, we say you go, girl. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Are you looking for a night out that actually delivers? Grab your friends and head to Sutter Health Park for Sacramento River Cats baseball. We've got cold drinks, great vibes, and live baseball all in one place. Get your tickets at rivercats.com.
Catch every soccer tournament match live on the big screens at Super Taco. Join Sactown Sports 1140 for the ultimate viewing parties. Win official jerseys, gift cards, and epic merchandise while enjoying great food. Bring your friends, wear your colors, and catch the action. Super Taco. Great food, great fun. See you there.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson. Online at SactownSports.com or on the app. Kings, Niners, and Sacramento. The Matt and Kayla Show starts now.
What's up? Happy Friday. Yes, we've reached Friday. It's kind of hard to believe. I almost said Friday Junior, but no, we have indeed reached the end of the week. It has been a wild week with the NBA draft. We're going to talk a little bit more about the NBA draft today. At 11, we're going to have Darius Acuff Jr.'s youth coach at the ACC up in Detroit, Michigan, Virgil Phillips, join us. He is awesome, you guys. You're not going to want to miss this interview. He's got some great stories from Darius. He's known him since he was in diapers pretty much. So this will be a really cool interview just to get to know Darius Acuff Jr. a little more. We've got Sean Cunningham from KCRA coming up at noon. And we've got Deuce Mason coming up at 1 p.m. We have got a loaded show, plus all the in-betweens of the draft. And we've got as the NBA turns, because there's always new information coming out as there's trades left and right that we feel like are going to happen. No Matt George today. He'll be back on Monday, but I got my good friend Brandon Nunez. You guys know him. You guys love him. He is co-hosting with me today, and our favorite guy, Anthony, doing it all behind the glass, making the show possible. How is everyone doing on this Friday? And if you stepped outside, guys, first of all, enjoy it while you can, but it feels wonderful out there.
It's nice outside.
Right?
It does.
I was like, is this springtime? What's going on out here?
It's nice. We need it. We need it because it is going to get very warm.
Yes.
But I will take it right now. Not complaining. Glad it's the case. I need a little bit more color. You know, I'm trying to.
You got the blue though, and I liked how you mixed some of the blue, the light blue today.
Yeah. I did mean like a
good.
Tan.
But
I do have a little bit of color on as well.
I need a tan too.
We go both ways. Yeah.
I'm going out to. By the way, we've been talking about it, I think, for about 2 months now, but the X Games are in town at the Cal Expo, and they're going to be really, really fun. So if you've got time, go online at xgames.com, get your tickets. We'll be down there. Myself, Bobby, our promotions guy, and our good friend Chris Watkins. We're going to be down there from 3 to 5 today, hanging out. We'll walk around, get some video, talk with the people. So if you're out there, come say hi to us at the booth. But today, we're going to talk a little more hoops, and we've got some World Soccer to talk about, too. But World Cup, I should say. Not a great day for the U.S. yesterday. But
not great. Exciting beginning of that. Like that game
Right?
was, yeah.
Because it was like a goal from the
Got
jump.
started quick.
And the second half, too, it was a goal 3 minutes in.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, electric stuff. Not to totally like derail
No,
the first segment
derail
we
it,
had
man.
planned, but the Summer League schedule just dropped.
Let's go.
If we happen to be
Let's
curious.
go, Brendan.
I don't know if one of you guys could pull up who got drafted where so we could keep track of this a little bit.
You got it, Anthony?
If you could help us out a little bit, Anthony, for who the
Love
Kings
it.
are up against. This is for Las Vegas.
Okay.
On Thursday, the 9th, the first day out there, the Kings have the last game. They are going to be playing at 11 Eastern. So if my math is correct, that would be 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
Yes.
They are playing the LA Clippers and will get against Keaton Wagler. Darius
that'll be
Acuff,
fun.
Keaton Wagler on the first day of Las Vegas Summer League on Thursday. The next game that they have is Sunday. So Thursday and then Sunday, they are playing the Washington Wizards.
There you
What?
AJ DeBonsa. Don't need Anthony's help
Yeah,
with
don't
that
need
one.
Mark
me
your
here.
calendars.
Next up after Sunday, so we got Keaton Wagler and AJ DeBonsa in those first two matchups. Next up on Tuesday, the Kings have somebody they will already have played in Sacramento, the Brooklyn Nets. We're going to get another, assuming the guys play, Michael Brown
Love it.
versus Darius Acuff matchup. Who knows how many of their former first-round picks will also be on that
Sure.
Brooklyn team. And then the final matchup that we have will be Wednesday. The Sacramento Kings will play the Boston Celtics.
Okay.
So not quite as exciting.
Not as
I believe
exciting,
they got
but-
Chris Senack.
Which a lot
at
of
the end of the
people
first
actually
round.
did like.
Yeah.
So-
Interesting player. But yeah, again, to recap, we got the LA Clippers on Thursday. That's
Yep.
Keaton Wagler. We got the Washington Wizards on Sunday
Yep.
against AJ DeBonsa. And then we have the Brooklyn Nets on Tuesday, Michael Brown, and the Boston Celtics on Wednesday for the Kings. So they're playing
Loaded
a lot
schedule.
of the top six, 4 of the top 6 guys.
This is going to be really exciting. I wanted to mention really quick, and then I have a couple questions to ask you about Summer League. We are going to be down there. Sactown Sports is going to be down there. We're going to have your coverage all week long. Brendan Nunes, the entire digital squad's going to be down there. Frankie Cardicelli and Chris Watkins. And then I don't know if they've officially announced it, but we've got the drive-bys going too. I know that Jason Ross is going because he's obviously on the radio side with the Kings.
Yeah, he's kind of a big deal, I guess.
He's kind of a big
Yeah.
deal, Jay Ross, you know? So we're going to have so many people down there. So we're going to have every angle covered, exclusive interviews because the access down there is incredible. So make sure to know that we are going to have your coverage for Summer League. Tell me a little bit about, paint the picture, Brendan, since you just released the schedule there. Will that be on our website, by the way, at some point?
I'm sure that will get up there.
Cool, because I know
Yeah.
some people are like, slow it down for us. It'll eventually be up on our website, you guys. But paint the picture of like why Summer League is so unique. And like I said, it's a very intimate setting in terms of like you're right there. You can bump into players. It's just a great thing to go watch.
It is very cool. I think my favorite wording, and this is definitely stolen from Chris Watkins, is that it's like the Coachella of basketball.
Love it.
Like you're just walking around everywhere on the
That's a good way
UNLV
to put
campus and concourse, and they have their extra gym as well, the Cox Center, that's their practice facility. They are connected buildings, so you're just walking around the same concourse. And, you know, it's the most
crazy.
like, oh, there's the Morris twins, or there's whoever it may be that you just happen to be walking around the concourse. And if you're like really nerded out about it, you could be like, oh, I think that was John Horst, or
Right.
like whoever, like random front office scouts, you know, Mike Schmitz, whoever it may be, you just kind of can run into out there. And I think it's really cool to see a moment where all these younger players are really the stars of the show. And obviously it's that next generation. You know, you can think of iconic moments that have happened at Summer League. I think of like when Zion made his debut and there was an earthquake, and that was crazy. For a Kings perspective, there's Keegan Murray's game-winning shot against Paolo Banchero.
I remember that one.
I forget Mark Jones's call, but it was something of like the miracle in the desert or whatever it may be. That was a really cool moment. That was actually my first year out there. That was a lot of fun. And yeah, it's just a moment where there's also going to be assistant coaches that get to lead these teams that you eventually see become head coaches. Jordy Fernandez, I remember coaching, I want to say it was that Keegan year, that Keegan's first year where Jordi Fernandez was the head coach of that team. And he obviously is now head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. So it's cool to see a lot of these guys progress. I don't remember if Doug ever did it. I want to say that he may have. I know that Bobby Jackson at one point was the head coach out there, but a lot of cool instances where you get to see all these different people be more of the stars. Obviously, Darius Acuff is still going to be the star once he makes it to that Sacramento level, but the first peek at these players, it's an extremely exciting time, and then you get to just walk around Vegas a little bit too,
It's cool.
and that's where you can run into the most random people.
Well, the big time stars too come down and watch. They watch their young players. A lot of those guys do.
And a lot of celebrities will go to these games as well. Like the most I've ever really been fanned out was I was like, I think that's J. Cole sitting
That's
right
pretty.
there.
Now that's pretty cool.
That one got me a little bit. Yeah, a lot of cool instances out there, and then from our coverage side, it's great access.
Yeah.
Get to talk to a lot of players. Last year, got to sit down with Scott Perry, general manager of the Kings, and yeah, a lot of fun stuff. And I'm sure in this week leading up, starting next week, even before California Classic, which kicks off on the 4th, goes through the 7th, we'll have practice. We'll get a feel for everybody that's going to be on that team. Something that we could maybe talk about a little bit today of who do we want to see on those rosters and what we're watching for a little bit. But exciting stuff, and always fun when they play against some of these other top tier teams.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Even Boston, that's the least of all of those. But Chris Senac, maybe is Hugo Gonzalez, the guy that wasn't included in the Giannis trade? Is he going to be out there? The one thing I'm a little disappointed in though, Kayla, there's no Atlanta on here. I wanted the Kingston Flemings versus Darius Acuff.
I know you did.
Of course I did.
And honestly, you deserve that.
I agree,
At
Kayla.
some point, we're going to see those two on the court together. And like I said, I'm wishing Kingston Fleming's the best. I want him to really be good in the league because I like the young man a lot. And actually, I do like the fit. I think it'll be good for him in Atlanta. I just hope Darius is just a little better.
Yeah.
Selfishly.
Yeah, we get to circle the Atlanta matchup, which is a very rare one. Maybe Crazy Alan Styles already had it circled because he's like, Kuminga watch. We got to stay circled on that.
It's funny you said that because we literally just had the chat. I'm trying to get your name right in here in the YouTube chat. By the way, you can always chime in the YouTube chat because it's where the whole community gets to kind of watch and talk with each other and talk to us. But News School Killas says, have you talked about Kuminga yet? Yeah, we did last week. I think there was another small report that came out that he could be on the move, but we all knew they might not give him a new contract. So we don't know yet.
Yeah,
I mean, who knows? At some point, maybe he's in Sacramento.
Yeah, I think at the time it happened when when Atlanta did not extend him, I'm kind of okay, the conversation's lulled for a little while, but we're going to get back around to this. I don't know Kuminga's age off the top of my mind, but I imagine he's probably 24. I think he's still about the
24.
age of, I think it's something around there, give or take a year. But I think he's around the age of someone like Yaxel Lendenberg is probably around Jonathan Kuminga's age.
Golden State's new first rounder.
Yeah, a lot of guys that, I think will be interesting, and it would not surprise me at all if obviously the Kings were interested in Jonathan Kuminga. It will be curious what that next contract looks like. I think that will go a long way of, they're not going to overpay him, I would imagine. Little Sacramento tax, who knows what it may be, but still upside there. And given the fact that there was previous interest, it wouldn't surprise me those conversations came up again.
And that's the thing. We've known this now, I think we're getting this vibe with Scott. Scott, once he kind of knows, a player he's targeting, he's not going to always get that player, but I think he will always try to keep that door open.
We're going to keep hearing RJ Barrett.
Exactly. So, yeah, I think you're right to say, kind of keep an ear and eye open for that. Also, we said it on the show yesterday. On Monday, because I think some of you guys are wondering, there were some questions on if the players would be available today for the media here in Sacramento. Because some players, some rookies have already spoke. They already got their numbers. That's not the case yet here in Sacramento. They will speak on Monday. I believe you said 11 a.m. Mm-hmm. It will be all three players and Scott Perry. You guys will be there, I'm sure, the digital crew. And so we'll run it live in terms of the press conference. But would you guess that's where the numbers are delegated? Because we also are wondering, wondering what is Acuff going to wear because he's that 5 guy, but that's Nick Clifford's number. So there's a couple questions about what number he's going to be before you buy your all jerseys.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. You asked me this yesterday, actually, and on my drive home, I was like, I think from my memory, they usually go up there and then they hold up jerseys. So I don't even think we're really going to need to ask. I think we're going to be able to tell right away.
Yes.
But if Acuff's holding up not a 5, which is what I would expect, I think, at this point, there are a number of changes that happen without us knowing, like Devin Booker moving his number, and obviously that got reported. But it would be very ironic if he's up there with like a number 4 jersey and a chain that says 5 on
that
it.
Would be. That makes me wonder, like, would his guy go in, because those are all crafted, handcrafted.
Yeah, we got to redo the chain.
Yeah, do we redo it? And like,
we retire the 5.
That is a kind of a lot, because I heard in terms of our interview yesterday with Curtis Wilkerson, he had said that kind of had been a thing that he's always rode with was that 5. So, yeah,
you could
we'll
take
see.
7 from Doug McDermott.
It could take.
I mean, like, that's his player who's picked.
I love 7.
I like 7.
So
that's not bad.
Not a bad
that's
one.
Not bad. Yeah.
You could do something.
He's a Derrick
creative.
Rose guy. Was D-Rose number 1?
Yeah, he was number 1.
Yeah.
Well, he had like a bunch of numbers after.
Well, yeah,
so
we don't
could
talk
go
about
wherever.
that.
I mean, he was good. He was good in Minnesota.
What was the
good
New York number? Like 25?
20. Yeah, he was there twice. It was 25 the first time, I want to say, and then it was different the second time.
Okay.
Do you double up on 5?
Well, that's Jason Williams too, though.
That's right.
I mean, you could. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a weird one. I know.
I personally, I've always been a number 1 guy. I don't know what it is. That sounds super cocky.
Yeah, no.
But it was just like my first number that I ever had.
Yeah, I get that.
And then you like go and
you.
look and you're like, what players have these numbers? And for me, it was always T-Mac.
Sure.
The last number 1 in Sacramento Kings history. Do you want to guess when the last time a player had that? It's a long time
Oscar
ago.
Robertson?
No, not that long.
He might have even been. He was
like,
0, actually.
way
He's
back,
retired.
yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
1991, Travis Mays.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that's a long
no
time
shot I
ago.
would have pulled that one.
Dang.
Yeah.
Really? 91?
Yeah. Could be the first number 1 on the Kings in a while.
Well, what's interesting, guys.
Oh, real quick, sorry,
Yeah,
on the
no.
numbers. Karaban also, I saw an
Yeah,
interview
'cause-
with him where he said, I don't know if this was pre-getting drafted, I would imagine so, that he said number 11 really mattered to him, that it has like some sentimental value.
Really?
And they were asking all the rookies, like, what number do you want? And he's like, yeah, 11 matters a lot to me. Like, I would love to get that. Domantas Sabonis'
one's retired.
number is 11.
Is
it number 1?
Yeah, it was Tiny Archibald.
Okay,
one has been retired.
So one's retired. 11
is also retired.
But Sabonis asked for permission.
But Sabonis asked for permission to get it. I'm going to go ahead and assume that maybe Alex Karaban's not going to get permission, even if Domas has moved on from. So a little unfortunate for him. He might not keep his number 11.
That is actually interesting, and it leads us right into the Domantas Sabonis saga. There's not really saga, guys, but we are going to continue to talk about him probably for the next few months.
Oh, yeah.
If not more. So Darius Acuff Jr. came out in the interview right when he was drafted, and I believe it was with Sacramento media, and the first thing he said when asked about who are you excited to play with, I did not have this on my radar, by the way. He said Domantas Sabonis.
Yeah.
And all the jokes were ensuing on Twitter and stuff, on X, like,
Does he know other
does
players?
He know, like,
Yeah.
hey, just to let you know, young fella, that he might not be here. But in all seriousness, we probably will see that happen. But there has been some more things that have been put out since last night in terms of the Domantas Sabonis saga. So NBA insider Sean Wright now is reporting that the Bucks have serious interest in Domantas Sabonis. He said new Bucks coach Taylor Jenkins reportedly sees great potential in his ability. Again, they've got a now younger squad to work with the Bucks' young guards. Is this out of the realm by any possibility?
I mean, this goes back to like our interest conversation yesterday, right? Of teams having quote unquote interest and how vague that terminology really is. What they're willing to give up, I think, would be a different conversation because I'm assuming we're not talking any first-round pick in any sort of deal like this. The Kings have been linked a lot to, and I think that this is not necessarily a previous front office, but seemed more ownership-based at times, was Kyle Kuzma, who's sitting over there still.
Yes.
That feels like a piece that could go. I think they would still have to figure out more salary on top of that. Unless Milwaukee may just have space now. I haven't checked their recent financial situation. But it's a little tough to figure out, like, well, okay, what would Sacramento be getting out of this, you know?
Yeah.
And that's maybe where
that.
you go to Kuzma a little bit for, like, backup 3-4 sort of idea. Kuzma will tell you on his Twitter that he can defend 1 to 5, and why the heck is nobody valuing me?
Sure.
I'm going to throw in all of a sudden, whatever it may be. But I think it would make sense from Milwaukee's side to be like, hey, he will help make life easier on Nate Ament, on Ryan Rollins, on Tyler Hero, on all of these sort of young guys. Hero's used to playing dribble handoff stuff with Bam Adebayo. So I think you could see that a little bit. And from their perspective, it's just let's help develop our young guys rather than, hey, we're actually trying to win a decent amount of games at this current state. So I think interesting from Milwaukee's perspective, but really hard to figure out, like, what would Sacramento be getting back in this deal? Because I don't imagine a team at the state of their franchise like the Bucks are would be trying to include first-round picks in any sort of deal like this.
Yeah, because they're not really in the position to do that.
Right.
And we've known from Scott Perry's point of view, you know, he's not just giving Domantas Sabonis away. Like, he's made it clear in the past that he wants that first rounder at least, and it looks like a lot of teams just either don't want to part ways or they just don't have the ability to do that. So it just really has to be the right match, which makes more and more sense from Windhorst. It wasn't a report the other day, but sounds like there is a lot of interest, but it's like, what can you give up? And not a lot of teams can do that right now. So I don't know if you saw this one too. Again, you guys, this is lying season. It's things that are out there, but when things are out there, there are connections somehow. So
usually a reason.
Yeah. NBA Trade Report also put out last night that the Warriors are interested in Sacramento Kings Domantas Sabonis and DeMar DeRozan as Golden State looks to move on from Jimmy Butler's $56 million expiring contract. Thought it was interesting for the sheer fact that we talked so much last year about just like they didn't want to even do business with Kuminga because it's that, you know, Golden State, Sacramento, right up the road.
Yeah.
There's something that is a little bit true to that, I feel. But when this came across my ex the other day, I was like, this is interesting.
It's a weird one. You know, just to start with the messy nature, like, are Domas and Draymond all right? Like, we're just assuming everything's cool there?
Because there's history there.
There's definitely a history there, as Kings fans will remember from that postseason matchup between them. But it's another one where it's really hard to figure out what that deal would look like. You know, I don't think that the Kings obviously would be taking on Jimmy Butler.
Nope.
Although I'll tell you, I absolutely love Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite guys. But I mean, the whole point of the Kings moving off of these guys is getting some financial flexibility, right?
Stuff, yep.
So, I mean, maybe if you combine the both of them, there's a world where it could make a little bit of sense. Culture setter, if the Kings are all obsessed with talking about setting a culture, like, I think Jimmy does that. At least I'm on the side that thinks he does until he's over it and he doesn't anymore. But for the most part, I mean, yeah, it's kind of intriguing. I think it's another. I kind of think of that more though from the Warriors side, I guess.
I do too.
Man, this team is just constantly like trying to figure it out right now, and I hope that they do. I know a lot of Kings fans may not love it, but like I adore Steph Curry.
Love Steph Curry.
I think
Matt
that
does too. You and Matt love him.
I mean,
I love him too.
I think that like the impact he has on how popular basketball is, and there is nothing like I will be telling my grandkids about what it was like to watch Steph Curry.
You're not a Steph Curry ruined basketball guy?
No, absolutely not.
And there are people out there like that.
You ruined my basketball experience.
Some aspects.
Anthony is one of those.
Did that. But no, I mean, I think that he has like cultural impact almost on the level of Michael Jordan, to be honest. Like, I really think that he's kind of that level. So figuring out how they can get him some help would be big, but it's hard to figure out how a deal with Domas plays into all that.
So let's say, though, you know, Domas stays here. He's here at least this season.
Yeah.
Darius Acuff Jr. saying he's going to love playing with him. How can Domantas Sabonis help this young rookie?
Yeah, I think he'd be really helpful. It's not a reason that I'm not moving on from him, but I think that Darius is going to have so much offensive responsibility, right?
Yeah.
Partially because we're sitting here like, okay, is Domas going to be here? Is DeMar going to be here? Is Zach going to be here? But if Domas is, then I think a pick and roll partner, first of all, is phenomenal. I think Sabonis' greatest skill is making his teammates better. And it's having that sort of screener for a guy that is that level of pick and roll player and is extremely reliant on that type of offense would go a really long way. It also gets you used to making these little short roll pocket passes, right? Or I'm going to go pass to him and then go get it back, and these dribble handoff actions, and getting accustomed to playing different styles of basketball. I think Domas is an extremely high IQ player and forces the other guys around him to be that as well. So one of those things that Acuff is going to have to prove throughout his time in the NBA, obviously, but I really think it would make his job so much simpler. Maybe not simpler, but easier.
Yeah.
And it would be beneficial for his long-term growth to learn to play alongside another big like that, because for example, like Jalen Brunson gets Karl Anthony Towns, and how much of an adjustment was that this year for those guys? They eventually iron it out, but it was a very rocky season, as Anthony will tell you, Knicks fan back there. Sorry, I just keep outing that you're a Knicks. I don't even think you've ever talked about this.
I don't talk about it.
Are you from New York?
No, it's a dumb thing. When I was a kid, I picked the colors when I was younger, and I got stuck with it, and they were horrible for a long time, but it paid off. I cried that night that they won.
That's cool, because like you said, you could have gone away from that, but you were like, nah, it'll pay off at some point in my lifetime.
I mean, the other option, I'm from Sacramento. The other option was the Kings.
Okay.
Dang.
They're usually the other option.
Yeah. So I love Sacramento as well. Like, I have all my Kings gear too. So they hardly ever play each other. It's never actually been an issue. So it's like they play each other one time, and then I'm conflicted that one day a year. But other than that, they're pretty separate.
Yeah, I'm really sorry to have outed you, because he's never talked about this, and then 2 days in a row, I'm just Knicks fan back there.
We forget, because we talk so much off air that it's I think we already had talked about that on it. Yeah. And it's sometimes our off air comes on air.
It does. We're all friends over here.
Exactly.
It's all open.
Exactly. But yes, I do think that playing alongside Domas would be really beneficial for Acuff. Yeah. You could sit there defensively. That's a bad pairing. Who really cares this year, to be honest?
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm one that cares about the defense, but the long-term projection for this year, for Acuff to be the offensive star, hub, superstar guy. We talk about Damian Lillard as a comparison. Him playing alongside Giannis was an adjustment. Domas isn't Giannis, but Dame never really had another guy quite like that. I mean, you could say CJ, you could say LaMarcus Aldridge early in his career, for example. But I think that would be beneficial for him. And we talked about who's the vet for him. And
that's the other big question. And I know last year what I loved, again, Russ didn't do everything perfect. I loved how Russell Westbrook and Maxime Reynaud, when Russ was out there, it's they became fluid together in terms of how they played, and I think that benefited Max. So.
Yeah, and this is the inverse positions,
it is.
Right?
It
Instead,
really
now we're going to have the big mentoring the guard.
Yeah, love it, and you're going to love our show today. We've got so much coming up at 11. We're going to have Darius Acuff Jr.'s youth coach, Virgil Phillips. He's going to be on the show. You don't want to miss it. But next, it is this edition of As the NBA Terms, because Sean has the latest on what the Celtics are demanding for Jaylen Brown.
Ooh.
That's coming up next here on the Matt and Kayla Show. Sactown Sports.
The Kings officially got their guy. Following a breakout season at Arkansas, Darius Acuff Jr. is headed to Sacramento. After adding one of the most electric scorers in college basketball, has Scott Perry officially found the new face of the franchise.
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Hi, this is Adam Johnson, owner of Golf Fitness Solutions. Most golfers practice their swing, but ignore the body swing in the club. We help golfers move better, get stronger, reduce pain, build power, and play longer. Join us for a free trial week and see how golf-specific training can help you support your body and your game. Try a class, meet the team, and find a right program for your goals. Call 916-802-5175 or visit golffitnesssolutions.com. Golf Fitness Solutions. Move better, feel better, play better.
The Travel Guys, new on KHTK 1140 every Saturday at 11 a.m.
We'll make you a smarter traveler. Tips you can use on the road and at the airport, plus reports from top consumer advocates.
The Travel Guys, 11 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140.
Remember the days of real country music? Now you can get your favorite classic country every day on 105.1 HD3 The Ranch. Listen to The Ranch on the free KNCI app or anytime at 105.1 HD3.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It's the energy all around you.
Lightning and the thunder, thunder.
The thrill of the moments to come. The flash of lights. The rush of pure exhilaration.
Thunder.
The roar of the crowd. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Skeeter here, my card. Field Tech, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District. I never met a Culex terrasalis I didn't want to smack. That's Latin for mosquito. Hey, it's time again to fight the bite. Time to protect yourself from West Nile virus by applying insect repellent. Once a week, drain stagnant water and report dirty green swimming pools.
Ew.
They're breeding grounds.
The Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you it's time to fight the bite.
My card never gets old.
For more information or to report problems, go to fightthebite.net.
We've seen every kind of golf swing, some smooth, some, let's just say, innovative. And that's why Hagen Oaks offers Total Game Fitting. The TrackMan-powered player performance studio shows what your swing is really doing. Ping's Ball-Nemic Ball Fitter finds a ball that behaves. The Hagen Oaks Putter Fitting Studio helps turn almost into yes. And FootJoy's 3D foot scanner builds stability from the ground up. At Hagen Oaks, we don't judge your game, we fix it. Hagen Oaks Golf Complex. Better fit, more fun. Fulton Avenue at Business 80.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Feel the force at Star Wars Night with the Sacramento River Cats. Join us at Sutter Health Park on Saturday, July 11th for themed fun, costumes, and summertime baseball under the lights. It's one of the most popular nights of the season. Get your tickets now at rivercats.com.
It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
Ah, yes. As you listen to the dramatic music, this is As the NBA Turns. With Kayla Anderson, Brendan Nunez, and Anthony in this edition. I mean, don't you feel that? Don't you feel we are in a soap opera right now?
This is as dramatic as it gets.
It really is.
And it is fitting for the NBA. At one point, I thought the beat was going to drop, to be honest.
That would be a banger.
Anthony's back there mixing.
I know. Actually, that would be a great rap track to start it like that and then just to do the drop. You're absolutely right. We need to get in on this.
Yeah, I mean, Alan Styles, move aside. Move aside.
We're coming in hot, man.
We're going to figure this out.
We got to have a creative name, but I'm sure we can find one. No need to find any, excuse not to talk to you about what's going on in the NBA because there's so much going on. Shams just reported last night that Jaylen Brown, I think it was actually either last night or this morning, I think it was last night, reporting that Jaylen Brown obviously is still on the minds of the Celtics in terms of trading him. And this is what he said he has heard in terms of what the Celtics would want in return. Here's Shams.
Let's go from here. We know they tried to get Giannis, but what's the ask now? My understanding is in some cases the Celtics have asked teams for at least 4 first-round picks for Jaylen Brown. He's got 3 years left on his contract at a Supermax clip. So where does that put him as far as his value? And if this is a Boston team that's been contending in the Eastern Conference, and their potential ask for some teams is a package of picks and players. How have they reimagined this roster moving forward, their finances, their viability as a contender in the Eastern Conference? But I do think as of right now, time will tell which side will bring the urgency to this matter this offseason.
For a player, I am like now to the point where, because we've been talking about that or about this ever since the end, even maybe a little before, of their run, their short run in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And most of this kind of blew up, though, because he and Jaylen Brown went on his podcast and said this was his best memory in terms of his career. And you're scratching your head a little because you're like, Jason Tatum was hurt most of the season, which, yes, allowed you to be the number one. But you guys were shortened in the playoffs. You guys have won a title. Wouldn't that be your favorite year?
Right.
And so then all of the smoke started to come with it. And from there, it's been fire. And so the biggest question is like, we can say all we want that he's on the trade block. And I do believe they're looking around. But like 4 first-round picks.
I mean, yeah, this is a finals MVP. As much as that feels a little bit weird to say, can't take it away from him. He absolutely deserved it at that time. I think he won Eastern Conference Finals MVP during that stretch too. Like he's a phenomenal player. I wasn't super surprised that he like loved last year and that I thought that the Celtics were good still. No, I mean like I grew up watching I was a Celtics fan at the time, and I remember like Jaylen got drafted, and this was the first guy that I was like, oh my God, this guy's my age, you know? So I was like, I was all about Jaylen Brown and Tatum, but that was like always the duo for me. And it always felt like Jaylen had this like energy to him, and this is just reading between the lines of like, why does everybody say this guy's so much better than me? Like, I'm right there, you know? And so last year when Tatum's not there, everybody's like, Celtics aren't going to be very good. I'm like, I don't know, man. And they did okay. They did more than okay. You know, I think Mazzulla ends up winning Coach of the Year. If I have that right in my mind. I think so,
you
right?
are exactly. Now, people thought maybe Bickerstaff should have won it, but yes, it was a good coaching job at Mazzulla, no doubt.
It was a great job for a team that was very shorthanded, but I think that Jaylen thinks he's that guy. Yeah. And to his credit, I don't think you can really argue against it that much. There's not the same playmaking when it comes to passing and setting up his teammates that there is for Tatum. Like, I'm still picking Tatum over Jaylen for sure, but it's an interesting scenario, and it felt like it's not super surprising to see him floated out here. He was previously mentioned in like Kevin Durant trade rumors back, this is years ago at this point.
It's been a minute, yeah.
And he was upset at that, and that was kind of like led to a rift. And I remember him saying, I talked to Tracy McGrady about it, who's one of his mentors, and T-Mac told him, if I were you, I wouldn't go anywhere.
Sure.
And sort of reflected on him splitting up from Vince Carter, you know, and I think Jaylen expected a different answer from that and was like, okay, but now you're floating my name in trade rumors again.
It gets old.
And ego gets involved, even though it's like, hey, this is Giannis Antetokounmpo, by the way. We're not floating you for some scrub. But I think the weirdest aspect of it for me is the Celtics getting draft capital is the main thing in return, because this is a team that I'd imagine is still trying to win right now.
Is ready to go now.
And that's what made it weird for me. I'm like, okay, well, win-win now trades are complicated, right? It's usually one team that's trying to win and the other team's willing to reset, and that makes the timelines easier. I don't know what a win-win like trade from two teams that are trying to get it now looks like. Is it a Jalen Duren sign and trade swap? Portland's been mentioned, and it's like, bring Drew Holiday back or something, but I don't know how much. Are they just going to reflip the draft capital, or are they trying to set up, you know how they acquired Jaylen Brown, was trading away their star players and Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and those guys to get a bunch of draft picks? So are they just trying to make sure we stay relevant forever? It's a weird scenario.
It is. It's one to monitor. Just like I hope it doesn't go on, and I don't think it will, as long as on Giannis Antetokounmpo. But I do feel like at some point it's just going to happen, and we're going to all be like, okay, there it is.
Yeah.
But there's definitely, they have to look around, and like you said, do we want to just add someone? It makes sense to like go forward, or are we just thinking we can do it without him, and then just getting, you know, more of the picks in the future to keep on like adding to the train? Like, I don't know. Here's the next one on NBA as the NBA turns. Brian Windhorst reported that the Pistons will, speaking of the Pistons, will pursue Kawhi Leonard once he clears the NBA's investigation, which we all know that's ongoing as well.
Yeah. How long is that going to take?
Holy smokes,
They're
man.
like in 3 years from now when he clears investigations.
I'm hoping we all forget about it.
Yeah,
Just waited a little bit.
Dude, I think a lot of people kind of have forgotten about it.
I don't even remember. What did Kawhi do again?
Yeah, I don't know. He was just planting trees. He's an environmentalist.
Yeah,
What's the problem here? Yeah, I mean, I love Kawhi. I think Kawhi is one of the most underrated players of this generation.
And he had a great year.
He did, like, one of the best years of his career.
Mm-hmm.
I think, there was a moment where when he won that title with Toronto where I was like, man, this guy could end up like in like top 20 conversations all time. And obviously career hasn't gone quite the same way ever since that point. But I also love the Pistons, and I think that they desperately need another guy, whether it is a Jalen or can they get another guard in there. I know people don't love Ja Morant right now, but like I think that would be an interesting option over there.
Interesting.
What's going to go on with Jalen Duren? I feel really bad for him, by the way. He had a phenomenal season and then just like craps the bed in one playoff series, and it's like, well, you just probably lost like $100 million.
Right, because now they're talking there about what they want to do for, if they want to give him a new contract, and he's kind of wondering what's going on with all the hate, and there's all that up there going on.
Yeah,
so.
and maybe these are somehow connected. Maybe there's a 3-team deal somewhere going on here. The Celtics could use a big. Could like Jalen Duren go there? Kawhi goes to Detroit, and could Jaylen Brown go to the Clippers, or even just Jalen for Kawhi feels like a super interesting swap.
If we're talking about player,
So we'll be interested to see how this goes. I just my only request, Kayla, is that like keep some of these guys in the Eastern Conference. Because
please
Portland's
do not move them all to the
West. Yeah, it's crowded over here already. Relax. We got Darius Acuff now.
Exactly.
Stay over there.
Stay away. Stay in the East. We're not dogging on the East. We know the New York Knicks won the championship.
I'll dog on the East, to be honest.
But he's like, we need some more talent over there. Coming up next, speaking of talent, the Team USA has looked really talented early on in the USA in terms of their run right now in the World Cup, but there's a little bit that went on yesterday. We'll let you know why it's not really a big deal. Just cool it if you're a USA fan. We'll get to the cup date in terms of the World Cup. That's coming up next here on the Matt and Kayla Show, Sactown Sports.
The Kings officially got their guy. Following a breakout season at Arkansas, Darius Akuff Jr. is headed to Sacramento. After adding one of the most electric scorers in college basketball, has Scott Perry officially found the new face of the franchise.
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Today on the pod, we're talking to Joan, a method actor and Scratchers enthusiast. So, Joan, what do you like about playing Scratchers?
Well, as a method actor, it's about becoming the ticket. Scratching up, down, stage left, stage right.
So what's your motivation? Because your performance feels so real.
Oh, I was just tapping into my inner Scratchers.
Incredible.
Yes. Bravo me.
Scratchers from the California Lottery. A little play can make your day. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to purchase player claim.
And we're live from the living room as Doug eyes up the matchday spread. He's reaching for the Buffalo wing. Perfect. Hang on, what's this? Oh, he's gone for a can of Pepsi too. Incredible. What a finish. Sensational combination. Look at the delight on his face. There's no doubt about it. It just tastes better. Match days deserve Pepsi. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a pack of Pepsi Zero Sugar for today's match. It's poetry in motion.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening, Chad, for Chrysler's Make This the Summer event?
Right now, you can save up to $15,000 off MSRP on one of America's most popular trucks, the new 2026 Ram 1500 Crew Cab. Plus, with an EPA estimated 22 mpg, you're going to save big at the pump.
That's so important, especially with the gas tax going up next month.
A new Ram could be what you need to cut your fuel costs long term. Plus, you'll enjoy best-in-class luxurious cabin comfort in the most luxurious Ram 1500 ever. And with over 600 Rams available, you won't find a better selection of new Ram trucks in stock and ready for you to drive home today.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HoblettDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
15,000 total net savings after factory incentive and dealer discounts. Incentives include $500 on-the-job upfit for eligible upfit, 1,000 Hoblet trade-in assistance on eligible trade-in, 500 Hoblet business owner bonus for verified business owners, and 9,500 dealer discount. 10th this net savings. See dealer for details.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Typically, a high handicapper carries an index of 20 or more. Golf Monthly's Barry Plummer offers 4 tips if you're tired of that high handicap. First, choose the right equipment. Invest in a 5-wood, which is more forgiving than a 3-wood or a 3 hybrid. It's a much better option for getting the ball in the air. Second, play for bogey on par 5s. Break the longer holes into manageable chunks, perhaps aiming to hit the green with 4 easy swings while also navigating away from the trouble along the way. 3, leave the sand wedge in the bag for chipping. Up and down percentages are almost twice as good when chipping a 9-iron over a sand wedge, and 3.5 times better with the putter. And finally, stop leaving your putts short. A 20 handicapper leaves 55% of their missed putts short of the hole. Give yourself a chance with every attempt and don't leave another putt short. Try these simple tips and let's see whether your handicap starts to come down. And have some fun out there. That'll help too. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Is the volatility of the stock market driving you crazy? Is your retirement account sinking, yet you're getting older and you're starting to worry about, will I have enough for retirement? What about the money in the bank? These banks pay nothing these days. How do we get growth to get to retirement account? It's simple. Move into gold and silver. Want to know how to do it? Listen to my show, Striking Gold, with me, Kenny Michaels.
Don't miss out on the biggest action sports event happening in Sacramento this June. Tickets are now live for MoonPay X Games Sacramento 2026. See nearly 100 of the world's best skate, BMX, and Moto X athletes compete at Cal Expo June 26th through 28th. Music performances featuring electronic music icon Cascade on Friday, June 26th, and Grammy-winning producer and artist Mustard, and music producer DJ Subtronics on Saturday, June 27th. Score your tickets today at xgames.com.
That's the sound of savings happening right now at Elk Grove Honda. You remember, right? Elk Grove Hondas are still cheap. And right now you'll find a good deal more on new Honda gas and hybrid Accords, Civics, CRVs, and more fuel-efficient Elk Grove Hondas. Every sale is done right here, under the flag in the Elk Grove Auto Mall. Come see why generations of families return again and again to Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, because Elk Grove Hondas are cheap.
Catch every soccer tournament match live on the big screens at Super Taco. Join Sactown Sports 1140 for the ultimate viewing parties. Win official jerseys, gift cards, and epic merchandise while enjoying great food. Bring your friends, wear your colors, and catch the action. Super Taco. Great food, great fun. See you there.
$10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
It is Friday, and we are having some fun. We've got Virgil Phillips coming up, Darius Acuff Jr.'s youth coach. He's coming up in top of the hour, actually, 11 o'clock, just about 15 minutes. Wanted to let you guys know that we just found out the number's official, folks, so you can get your jerseys now. Darius Acuff Jr. wearing number 5.
Got a little bit of pull already.
Wow.
Huh? Nate Clifford was wearing the number, for anybody unaware. Gave it to him right after De'Aaron Fox obviously had worn that number for a long time in Sacramento, and now it looks like Nate's going to be switching his number.
Yeah.
Which, they have to buy out, the players have to buy out the jerseys? Like, was Darius got some NIL money now.
Yep.
Like, hey, Neek, I'll buy these out for you, or whatever.
It's
maybe
kind
that
of a nice
conversation
perk for Neek in a way.
It could work out well for him. Darius, he gets to wear that same chain now. He doesn't got to rework it. For what it's worth, Neek Clifford wore 10 his final year at Colorado State in college.
DeMar DeRozan right now.
DeMar DeRozan currently wears 10. I think we're all going to assume that number's probably going to be available next year.
I think so.
So maybe Neek will go in a different direction. I don't know why he chose 5. Obviously,
I like 10, by the way, for Neek. I don't know.
Well, actually, I guess 10 wouldn't have been available when he joined the team because DeMar was there.
Because DeMar was there,
So maybe he'll go in that direction. And at Colorado, before Colorado State, he wore 32.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it might actually work out the right way. more organic than we thought.
You know, I've never
'Cause
seen
it is
Neek
always a
with a
little
chain that said like 10 or
No.
anything. Like the number might
You
mean
got the
more to
Clifford dog
Darius.
chain.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
It might mean more to Darius.
I think so too.
And
I think
Neek
that's
seems like
kinda-
a good guy.
Neek
You're like, you know
seems-
what? Go ahead.
Neek seems like everybody's friend.
Yeah.
That's what I would
I
think.
would
And he's
agree.
probably like, all right, young fella, go on.
Yeah.
You
Very
know,
down to
you don't have to go to your jeweler and get it all changed up. USA might need to change up something.
Maybe.
I think there was a little bit of overreaction, folks. That is right. It is your cup date, and we are talking about USA and... Okay, can you guys help me with this? Because is it Turkery? Like, they're saying it... It's like...
It was like Turkey-A.
Turkey-A.
Sounds
Thank you.
like the way that they were saying it on
Turkey-A.
TV. I've never heard it said like that.
I
but
know.
It's spelled like that.
It is spelled like that. It is USA versus Turkey-A last night in LA. That is a lot right there. Where the USA fell 3-2 to round out that first group stage. Now, this is why we need to all just chill out a little bit, because they already won the group stage.
Right.
And then they were already set to play Bosnia, which is happening next Wednesday right down the road in Santa Clara. And that will start the round of 32. So everything is okay. They didn't need this. They didn't need the points or anything. They also weren't playing all of their starters, guys. They had a lot of their reserves out there. Now, I know Christian Pulisic did come in about less than an hour into game because they just need him to get going again because he's been sitting with the injury. But other than that, like, I don't think it was their full arsenal. And people are getting a little, like, USA fans are getting mad about this.
Well, you know, I think the World Cup is still a little bit of an adjustment for a lot of USA fans. We're still getting accustomed to everything that's going on here. But I agree with you. I mean, I think it just comes down to the competitive nature of like, oh, we've been beaten. We're 2-0 right now. Like, let's stay undefeated. It's the same way where it didn't really matter that the Knicks lost those couple games. But like,
Right.
man, you would have loved to keep that win streak going.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, I mean, they still advanced. It's still an extremely successful time. The broadcast was saying, I'm going to get this number wrong, but it was the first time they won their first two World Cup games since something like the 1940s.
It's been
I was like, excuse me?
a long, long time.
Extremely long time. So I get why people may be a little bit frustrated. It's not the team you would expect to lose to. It was also very dramatic fashion how they lost that game.
It was literally on like the last play.
Yeah, extra time.
Yeah.
It was a tragic way to go out. But, I mean, overall, I thought it was a very exciting game. I guess I'm saying that as someone that's not super passionate about this necessarily. But also, they're still advancing. And so put all your energy and effort towards that Bosnia matchup that's going to take place on July 1st.
Yes. That is Wednesday, right? Yeah.
It is a Wednesday, I believe. It is.
Yeah, it is Wednesday.
So yeah, they're going to be all right. You
I
know,
think so, too.
Yeah, not exactly. You would love to see them stay undefeated, but they've had an extremely successful run. And you're seeing like, didn't Spain tie to Cape Verde? Like, it's okay. Things happen.
Yeah.
They already took care of the business that they need to and are moving on.
I think what fans, and young fans forget too is like we've been disappointed in Team USA for several years now. And it's like people are starving, especially soccer is becoming so much more popular here. Like it's a slow burn,
Yeah.
but it is becoming more popular with the youth. There's more youth soccer happening here, but it's still just on another level internationally. But I think people are so starved for like the USA to be that team. And when you get off to the start that they got off to, because we had such low expectations that when you win like games like you have, and they were like setting the record for USA goals.
Yeah.
Like they've been like a scoring machine, that people were just like wanting to keep just winning. And I get that. But in the long run, I think it'll be interesting what happens in the next round, because this is still not a team that's predicted to win it all. But it is nice.
You can't
people,
say that, Kayla. Come on, people
I'm
are going to
sorry.
get on you.
I'm sorry.
It's
USA.
that American greed.
USA.
There was a good ad that had like the guy from the hockey team that was like, "Don't you believe in miracles?" Because they just won. And I'm like, you got me, man. I didn't
That
believe
is
until this
hilarious.
advertisement. I'm with you now.
That is so funny. But no, I think what I've loved about this World Cup, and I think a lot of people get in the World Cup. I've said it before. I'm not the biggest soccer fan. Like I've covered MLS, but I'm not the biggest soccer fan, but World Cup is really an exciting time, I think, for many people. But because it's here in the U.S., I think like I've really been impressed just with all the countries that have come in, all the culture that's being shared, and it has made the summer, at least the start of it, really fun. And we still got NBA to talk about. We still got MLB, but it's brought like an energy, I guess, here.
100%. We talked about Norway at the Mets game yesterday that we were talking about. It's been really fun. And I've personally really enjoyed, this is a very American thing of me to enjoy, but seeing like a bunch of foreigners come over and be like, man, these stadiums are crazy.
You guys ever had ranch before?
Yeah.
Ranch is insane.
I did see a video of a guy the other day that was like, I bought 2 whole things of ranch. And it's amazing. I'm bringing them home. It is really cool. Not to just like lightly flex my little Brazil trip, but that was one of the cooler things about being out there during the World Cup, which just happened to be cool timing, is that like I got to watch with a lot of people that really love and care about this sport.
Yeah.
And that was a really cool experience because I haven't really got that. Like it just doesn't have that same love and joy here. I think that this sort of success, you will start to see it climb. But I'm curious to see what okay, I'm getting ahead of myself, but say they were to win.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
I don't think it's Argentina's level of celebration. Like people would be really excited, but I'm curious like to what full extent. They'd be like, dang right, like we're the best, but like
when really it'd be like a shocker of all time.
Yeah.
You know?
And I just don't, I'm curious if it would be treated that way. Within the U.S.
I'm really curious too of what it would be like. I think that if they got to that point or getting close to that point, I think we would start to see the fandom go to a next level. Because I think right now people have caught on, but I think if they really start to like have some upsets, it could get to the point where it's like, okay, everybody's buying in.
Right.
Even like the people who've never watched soccer in their life are like, oh wait, okay, this is happening. We're winning. So
it'd be like you just start following a team, any sport, whatever it may be. Say that you just picked a random team, like, oh, I'm a Timberwolves fan now, and then they win the championship your first year of fandom.
Exactly.
It feels cool.
Yeah.
It's fun, but it's not the same as if like I was watching them for a decade before. This sport is insanely popular. I was like trying to put it in perspective for my mom a little bit yesterday, and I'm like, Instagram followers aren't everything. Keep this in mind. But like LeBron has like 170 million followers.
Yep.
Cristiano Ronaldo has 700 million.
That is insane.
Ridiculous.
Close to 1 billion if you want to really
people
think
just
about
following
it.
him on Instagram. It's insanity. Messi's like 600 something million. These people are like 4 times the amount of LeBron James.
It's crazy. Not even Brad Pitt and Edward Norton, who were, by the way, Fight Club at the game yesterday.
We go. Yeah.
I don't know if anyone saw where they took the clip. They took it a couple times.
I don't know what his shirt was.
I was trying to figure it out myself.
It was a Radiohead shirt.
Was it a Radiohead shirt?
It just said Radiohead.
Oh my God, I can't read apparently. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I was
cool.
overthinking like what words stopped and ended. And
it was like the
crazy.
Darius chain we couldn't figure out for a minute.
I'm still like kind of skeptical if that actually
what
said
it is?
5, but I'll take his word for it.
Well, speaking of Darius Acuff Jr., the Sacramento Kings first round pick, who is now here in Sacramento, it's been official. It's official here. We've got his youth coach, a great guy, a huge part of Darius Acuff's pretty much like monumental like rise to what he is now. It started all the way back in Detroit, Michigan. We have that man, Virgil Phillips. He's coming up next at the top of the hour right here on the Matt and Kayla Show, Sactown Sports.
The Kings landed Darius Akuff Jr. at number 7. But that wasn't enough. Just before the end of the first round, Scott Perry moved back up to select UConn forward Alex Karaban as the winningest player in UConn basketball history. Will Karaban's shooting ability and championship pedigree help build a new winning culture in Sacramento?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Country in the Park 2, presented by your California Army National Guard, October 23rd at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Russell Dickerson, plus more. Enjoy line dancing, live DJs, mechanical bull, and food trucks. Tickets start at just $70. Country in the Park 2, October 23rd at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra, the California Office of Traffic Safety, and Caltrans. More info at CITPFest.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer, and Associates. When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust. Along with my partner and associates, I have been helping accident survivors recover for their injuries for over 25 years. And we can help you. There's no charge for calling, so please call us today.
When you get an injury, just call Gingery.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Are you looking for a night out that actually delivers? Grab your friends and head to Sutter Health Park for Sacramento River Cats baseball. We've got cold drinks, great vibes, and live baseball all in one place. Get your tickets at rivercats.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
It is a Friday. We're feeling those Friday vibes here in Sacramento and, of course, all the surrounding areas. And people that are even tuning in on their apps or on YouTube, we love the community here. Let's keep it growing. And it's been a really exciting week. We've got myself in here today. We've got Brendan Nunez filling in for Matt George, the wonderful Anthony making it all happen behind the glass. But it was NBA draft week, and I think fans are really, really excited right now because at number 7, they took the young man out of Detroit, Michigan, of course, from the University of Arkansas, point guard Darius Acuff Jr. And right now, it is our pleasure to welcome in Virgil Phillips, the youth director for America's Community Council up in Detroit, Michigan. He has known Darius since he was very, very young, and we are thrilled to be joined by him. Coach, that's what I'm going to call you. How's it going? And thank you so much for making the time for us.
Thank you, Kayla. And Coach would be very appropriate. That's what everybody in the neighborhood call me, Coach V.
Well, Coach V, I mean, you got to see it happen the other night. Darius being selected number 7 overall in the NBA draft, headed to the Sacramento Kings. Tell me where you were and what were those feelings like when you saw your former player get drafted by the Kings?
Well, I'm smiling to the heavens right now because I was in the spot where he got his career began at the ACC Gymnasium. We had a watch party there. There was over 300 people there. And he got drafted 7, and we're on 7. So he went 7 from 7.
That's amazing.
That is very cool. Coach V, this is Brendan Nunez. Thanks for joining the show, man. Appreciate you taking the time. Wanted to give you the chance to share a little bit of your background with this ACC Youth Center and how long you've been doing this for, and obviously we'll dive a little bit more into Darius, but how long have you been involved in the community via this route of coaching, and how much have you enjoyed getting to have that process?
Well, it's been over 40 years. You know, I coached many of his ancestors and forefathers. I've coached his father, his uncles, and my son grew up right next to his father. So I've been in this over 40 years. I moved in this neighborhood back about that time, and I hit the ground running. I was an avid lover of athletics myself, didn't quite have the direction or the landscape to make it, so I decided to create a program in my neighborhood for kids like Darius Acuff Jr. and my son. And it started with basketball. And I'm still doing it 40 years later. I've seen some great players come from my neighborhood, and you know some of them. So, it's just been a lifelong passion of mine to work with young people, and specifically through basketball. I've seen some great players come through this neighborhood, and they've kept me young, man. I still feel energetic every time I step in the gym. The American Community Council named the gymnasium after me. I'm the only person that ran the gym that they built about 25 years ago. It's the second gym that I've occupied in that neighborhood, and it's on 7 Mile. So when he went 7,
wow,
that was right up our alley. The most iconic road in Detroit is 7 Mile, not 8 Mile, because we share 8 Mile with suburbanites, but Detroit owns 7 Mile.
Oh, that's really cool, Coach. Coach V joining us. He is the youth director for America's Community Council, has known Darius Acuff Jr. for a long time, has seen him grow up right before his eyes. Let's start with where that journey started with you guys there. And at what age did you meet Darius Acuff Jr.? And when did you kind of know that this young man was somebody special?
I actually met him in the cradle. His dad was running programming for me at the ACC, and he would bring Darius with him in those little baby carriers and set him on the sideline. And even as a baby, his eyes were buck wide open looking at the activities going on the court. I guess he's watching his father. But the minute he was able to walk in there 6 or 7 on his own, and felt like he was big enough. See, he's been ready. He was born ready because at 6 or 7, he was ready to get on the floor. He actually got on sooner than that. But I'm talking about he wanted to compete at 6 and 7 against 9 and 10 years old, which was the group his dad was working with. And I told his dad, the way he walked in the gym when he was walking on his own, I could tell he wanted that. That was going to be something he can do. Mind you, my son, Rashad Phillips, was a great player himself in his own right at the local college here. And his dad was a great player in high school. But I had seen young talent like that before, even before they really took on the game. He was ready, and I mean ready. He came in the gym with his own ball. I said, man, this guy got some Derrick Rose in him. I had a habit of naming kids after NBA players. Not necessarily comping, but it was a comp because to me, they remind me of it. People call him his daddy Cheeks to this day because I named him after Maurice Cheeks, the great point guard for Philadelphia back in the day. You guys look so young. I don't know if you even remember Mo Cheeks. But anyway, his daddy was known as Mo Cheeks back in his day. But I told him, man, this kid looked like he could be a Derrick Rose, just the way he walked.
Yeah.
And a week later, his dad bought him a Derrick Rose #1 jersey. He walked in the gym with that jersey on, and you couldn't tell him he wasn't supposed to play. So we let him out there with 9 and 10 years old. He's 6 or 7. And he had the best execution of basketball skills than any kid out there. And after the session, I told his dad, and his dad listened to me. I'm like a father, grandfather to it. I said, yo, Darius, you got something there, man. This guy's made to do this. And his father, they come from basketball. The Acuff is legendary basketball in our community. I'm surprised he's the first one to make it, but they legendary. Probably the best basketball family Detroit has ever seen is the Acuffs. So his daddy started letting me practice with those guys. I got pictures in my office with him with a jersey crisscross because it was too big for him. He was just the best player out there in terms of basketball acumen. The other kids had trouble picking it up. This little dude, he knew what his daddy meant when he said reverse dribble, go behind your back off of pressure. He knew that stuff at 7 years old. So from that day on, his dad was all in. And people don't know this, but his mom was a great player as well. His mom, Doreen, she used to play defense like a hawk. People keep saying Darius can't play defense. I got news for you. Let him be challenged. Because when he walks in the gym, he thinks he's the best in the gym. Always been that way. So you're not gonna run around him. Trust me. You're gonna want that ball.
Coach V, my dad educated me on Mo Cheeks a little bit. I got a little bit of background going on, but just want to say, like, what you're doing is extremely admirable. Like, my dad put me in basketball and said the 2 reasons were he wanted something to hold over my head in case I was ever messing up and something I could care about that he could take away, and he treated it as a metaphor for life. I think that is so accurate in how I go about a lot of things, and it sounds like you have somewhat of a similar perspective. And you're mentioning coaching Darius Sr. and the Acuff family maybe being one of the best in Detroit. You talked about it a little bit there, but what have you seen? Obviously, not only them as like players and who stood out to you. I know you mentioned Cousins and stuff like that previously, but what have you seen from them as people and how much that they take pride in what they do on and off the court?
Well, 7 Mile is notorious for the Acuff's reputation. They just had a big-time reputation all up and down 7 Mile. But all of them helped me keep the ACC alive. When I left the church gym going to ACC, which was 25 years ago, they followed me down there, and they became volunteers at the center. And so they took on the leadership roles of running the sessions, as we call them. We break them off into ages, and we let them play. So his Uncle Jay ran the session. His daddy, Darius, ran the session. One of their cousins ran the session. So my staff was filled with Acuff, but it gave us immediate credibility from a basketball standpoint. And we had kind of earned that on our own. We had been out there playing. We're not one of these big shoe company programs. We're a grassroots program, and I believe in gathering kids from the same area code and, and zip code, and we just loaded them up on the van and would take them on excursions to different towns, and they kept that tradition going. Darius Sr. took Darius with a group of neighborhood guys, and they would go play against the Darren Petersons and all these guys, and they would hold their own. They played against LeBron's sons. He would come back and say, V, man, we battled them. We didn't beat them, but we battled them, man. And he said, look, Darius was holding his own. He was probably the best player out there. I was never surprised when he would tell me that. This guy was built to play this game, and we have pride in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
We had a watch party at the draft day, and Steve Smith showed up, the great Steve Smith.
Oh, cool. I love Steve Smith.
He was there, and he watched it, and he was so proud because Steve battled the Acuffs for years, too. He was like, V, I'm surprised it took him one of them this long to get up here, man, because them guys been good for a long time, Steve, so they used to give him the beers. And you know how long Steve went on to have a great career in the NBA, so the Acuff's just been a lifeline to continuing what I started. because they got the youthfulness. They're still in there today, an Acuff nephew. And I knew Darius was so special because he was the youngest of them. And when they would get together and play, he would be dominant amongst the Acuff. I mean, his cousin Tyson Acuff, who just finished at Rutgers a couple of years ago, he drew the assignment of checking Darius, and he couldn't check him. I said, shoot, this dude for real. He couldn't check him. Tyson 6'5", grown man, playing at the highest level. He was giving Tyson the biz as a high schooler, so I knew he was legit.
Virgil Phillips, youth director of For America's Community Council, has been with Darius Akuff Jr. since he was just a little pup there in Detroit, Michigan. Coach, I tried to kind of explain this to people because you're right. And you mentioned the one thing that people are questioning about is the defense, right? And he wasn't really asked to do that as much at Arkansas. And Coach Cal even came out yesterday on a couple podcasts and said, I didn't give a you-know-what if he played defense. Look, I mean, he'll have to play more at the NBA level, no doubt about it. But tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe Darius Akuff's mindset is whatever you ask me to do, I'm going to work until I can get it right. And I believe if he is asked, which he will be, to better his defense here in Sacramento, that he's going to do everything he can to do that. Explain why do you feel, if that is true, he will do?
Well, for one, Kayla, he has the attributes to be a great defensive player. He can move, he can slide, he's strong, he's got a long wingspan. I've seen him pickpocket guys like timely pickpockets, like he would tell you like a Walt Frazier would do back in the day. He know to lead a league in steals. You don't have to get 10 steals. You're supposed to get 1 or 2. It's when you get them. And I've seen him make big play after big play on both ends. Darius the kind of guy that whatever it calls for, he's not going to be outdid, man. He's got a quiet confidence about him. He believes this game is his game. When people say, whose game is it? It's DA5's game when he's on the court. And he believes that it's almost like owning your property. You know how you have a toy and it's yours because he owned his ball like that. When he would come in the gym, he would tuck it under his arm, and once he got out there with it, he didn't want nobody to take it from him, and he learned how to not let him take it. Because his dad used to pickpocket him a lot, try to knock it away from him. He got to the point where he could protect it against his dad. So I said, man, if he could do that against his dad was really trying to take it from him. He couldn't. So defensively, he has all the attributes you need to be a great defensive player. I coached basketball for a long time. I really believe the challenge has to be put upon him.
Yeah.
And you're not going to embarrass him and say, I took you out because you wasn't checking. No, he wants to play, so he's going to be checking and wrecking. Y'all going to see it. He's going to come up with key defensive skills. He's going to play a little peekaboo type of defense. You're going to think he ain't playing it, but he's going to come up with steals when y'all need it. He's going to come up with stops. He can't be pushed off his spot. He's strong. I seen this guy grow up to like a man right before me. He leave on a Friday and come back on a Monday, and I'm saying, what did he do over the weekend? Big and everything. That's how it used to be every time I saw him. He loves this center so much that every time he comes home, even today, 4 days before draft, he was in the ACC gym putting up some shots. For the Juneteenth day, he came home for 1 day, wasn't here for 8 hours. He got 2 hours in the gym. He loves to play, and I've seen him shut his cousins down who can really score. He got one cousin who I thought was an excellent offensive player, Drake, and his name is Johnson by marriage, but he's an Acuff by his mother. I've seen Darius shut him down, which I had seen nobody shut him down in high school.
Yeah, Coach V, do you have any familiarity with Scott Perry, also from out there? And I know Scott coached Darius Sr. a little bit.
Of course I do. Guess who he came through to get Darius?
Okay.
I've been knowing Scott for 35 years. He was a great player himself. People don't know how great a player Scott Perry was. He left Detroit, went to Oregon, the University of Oregon. He ended up finishing up at Wayne State University. This dude was a big-time guard, so he knows guard skills as well. So I'm sure when he peeped Darius Sr., and he said, that's Darius Sr.'s son, he already know what he getting.
I want to know, Coach, because we all know Darius is like, look, and I love this saying. They're saying, like, let's bring that Detroit mentality to Sacramento. And I love the chip on the shoulders. Like, I love the working for everything you have. Like, that's right up my alley, Coach. And Darius, though, also, like, he's like a businessman. I mean, it's hard to crack a smile in that young man. And I know fans are going to love him here, by the way. Can you tell us a story maybe that we don't know about Darius, though, that kind of gives us a little bit of insight on who he is as a person?
Yeah, Darius is, I can tell you when the game is on the line, he comes out a different bag. And you won't notice it unless you notice it. When we at his games, and we were at a couple of games, he won a state championship here before he left and went to Florida as a sophomore. And it was in the plans to get him out of here. We knew how good he was, but he wasn't going to leave until he won one. He came close as a freshman, but he won it as a sophomore. And every time he was in a game where it was a win or go home situation, he was down. And he would tell us, we were sitting front row and all close up where his dad was always in the earshot. He would tell us to calm down. He got it. And that's what you guys are getting. This guy's a proven winner. He doesn't take losing lightly. He think people look at Detroit like we full of losers, but that ain't the case. This dude going to bring DA5 Showtime Live to Sactown and turn y'all into a showtown. People going to want to come to Sacramento to see DA5, Darius Acuff, play, because he's the kind of kid that'll give you that feeling that you got a chance to win. And he's done that in 2 big games. When he went to Florida, that's another story. He was with the IMG team, and they did us a favor by coming to Detroit to play one of our better high school teams on Orchard Lake St. Mary. They was in a dog fight of a game. He did the same thing. I was sitting press row. He looked me in my eye and told me, calm down. Because I'm kind of animated and demonstrative. He told me, calm down, V, I got it. I'd be darned if he didn't deliver that win.
That's incredible. And by the way, we might have to trademark. What was it again? The
DA5.
Yeah, and then bring in something to Sacramento. Like, that was perfect, Coach.
DA5 is coming to Sactown to turn y'all into a showtown.
Let's go.
It's going to be the kind of town people want to come to see y'all get down. Because this dude going to get down. I'm telling y'all, he's going to get down. That's his stage. He loves to be on the basketball court. It's a stage. And he wants to put on a show to let y'all see, man. I mean, this guy is just, money and fame is not going to change the way he played the game. Darius Acuff is coming to take his name. DA5 is what y'all going to become to know him as. I'm glad the dude gave up his jersey because he's been rocking that 5 all his career. I'm glad he didn't have to fight for it. The other kid in Washington had to take another number. I appreciate the kid that gave Darius 5 because that's part of his identity. 5 is all the way live.
There we go. Yeah, Neat Clifford moving on from that number. We'll see what he switches to. But, Coach V, I think one of the interesting things that Scott Perry mentioned right after drafting Darius was that what you kind of said, that he has this energy like he knows that he's the best guy or that he wants to be the best player in the room. And I'm curious from your perspective, like when you kind of started to see that, but also how he would still, or your perspective on kind of balancing that where maybe you know it in your mind, but also I think some people in that standpoint could be kind of a jerk about it, and sort of how he still interacted with teammates, yourself, family, whoever it may be, while still being that dude.
Well, he's very grounded. He's very community-oriented. As I told you, every time he comes here, he returns to the center. He gave a free clinic over the Christmas break when he was at Arkansas. He came in for one day just to do that. He's a lover of people, and he feels like the way he plays basketball gives them joy. So that's why he comes out there, and his teammates will pick up on that. He likes to go along with everybody. And he likes to see them exceed and excel. He likes to be doing swell on the court. He knows that team basketball is fun to true basketball enthusiasts. We don't like to see a guy that's just going to get his and not helping the team. Or he ain't built like that. He all for the team. And when the team needs him, he going to rise up and he going to rise high and he going to get it done. And he loves to assist people. He's a great passer. One of the best alley-oop throwers I've ever seen from a young age, 12 or 13. He was throwing his cousins alley-oop. They wanted him on their team because they know they would get a dunk because his family was high-flying guys. And they knew if we got Darius, he would throw an oop before the game was over. Last time he played in an open run here, everybody wanted to be on this team. And I would put a 6'6", 6'7" down and say, you check them, because that's how them guys going to look on the next level. And Darius made small work of that dude. He was pretty good. This kid was a tough East Side kid. Detroit is full of tough basketball-playing guys. And every time you get on the court, you better bring it, or they're going to take your lunch, man. But this guy, he loves playing the game the right way, which his dad instilled in him. His dad was a cerebral point guard. That's why Scotty P, we called Scott Perry Scotty P. That's why he wanted him so bad. He knows good guards because he was a good guard. And there was no doubt in my mind. I told my watch party participants, he's going 7. Where we at? We own 7. So he's going 7. And I was very pleased with that. The team I wanted him with selected him. I wanted him in the Sactown. I wanted him to go to a town where he could just flat out get down. And I just figured the 2 veterans there, LaVine and DeRozan, they going to love him, man. I can see them giving him the ball and said, make it happen, young Hoss. I can see them doing that. That's the kind of kid he got that magnetism. I'm with you in this, but I play a certain way. And Cal saw it at Arkansas. He didn't have no problem with them other guys, man. I tried to get a couple of the McDonald guys to come to Arkansas with him. I went to the McDonald's game. They had to tell me to shut up. I was in the hallway where the guys come out at. I said, if you ain't signed, go to Arkansas. Play with DA5, Darius Acuff. I told Gilbert Arenas' son that. I told the Boozers that. I told Amos that. I told Sinek. So y'all guys ain't signed. You better sign with Arkansas. Malik hadn't signed yet. He shortly did. I wanted all of them to go to Arkansas. We would have saw another coming of the 5-5. They'd have been better than that group. Because Darius is the only sophomore to win a state championship other than the great Chris Webber. He did some great things here in Detroit, and y'all about to see a show in Sactown. You about to change the name to Showtown.
Well, Coach, you've put on a show here on the Matt and Kayla Show. You've been wonderful. Our audience is just eating it up. They want to make sure that you're coming to Sacramento. You're going to see plenty of games, I'm sure. When you come, you have to come on our show and to our studio, and you got to be in here live with us. Make me that promise, Coach, because we just love you to death, and we just appreciate you taking the time. The stories you told were just incredible, and we're excited to have you right here in Sactown when Darius plays.
I'll definitely be there. Scott, please promise me I'll get there.
Well, we appreciate you, and you have a fabulous weekend. Thank you so much again. Virgil Phillips, Youth Director for America's Community Council up there in great Detroit, Michigan. We appreciate you. Have a wonderful weekend, Coach.
Appreciate it, Coach.
I love you. Love your show.
Thank you. That is the great Virgil Phillips, man. I could literally run through a wall right now. I'm so pumped after that. Great stories, great man. We'll get to a little bit more of that on the other side. Plus, we have Pick a Side. That much more coming up here on the Matt and Kayla Show here on Sactown Sports.
The Kings officially got their guy. Following a breakout season at Arkansas, Darius Akuff Jr. is headed to Sacramento. After adding one of the most electric scorers in college basketball, has Scott Perry officially found the new face of the franchise.
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Friday forecast framed up with sun and clouds passing by. Temperatures this afternoon will be unseasonably cool. Highs across the valley in the lower 80s. It'll be a breezy afternoon, and it'll still be occasionally gusty during the day on Saturday. You can get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Cheap, cheap. That's the sound of savings happening right now at Elk Grove Honda. For more than 50 years, Elk Grove Hondas are still cheap, cheap. You'll find us under the flag in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard. Elk Grove Hondas are
cheap, cheap.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55-plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important, trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
MoonPay X Games Sacramento 2026 is taking on Cal Expo this summer. Catch live music performances and more than 100 top skate, BMX, and Moto X athletes compete. June 26th through June 28th. Get your tickets now at xgames.com.
Catch every soccer tournament match live on the big screens at Super Taco. Join Sactown Sports 1140 for the ultimate viewing parties. Win official jerseys, gift cards, and epic merchandise while enjoying great food. Bring your friends, wear your colors, and catch the action. Super Taco. Great food, great fun. See you there.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special as a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Imran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby, insight, and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
You can buy golf clubs anywhere, but buy clubs that fit the shelf instead of your swing. That's why Hagen Oaks offers total game fitting. TrackMan dials in your driver and irons. Ping's Ballnemic Ball Fitter finds your perfect golf ball. Hagen Oaks Putter Fitting Studio helps you roll it true. And FootJoy's 3D foot scanner matches you with balance and stability. Whether you're a beginner or accomplished, your best game starts with the right fit. Hagen Oaks Golf Complex. Better fit, more fun. Fulton Avenue at Business 80.
Kick summer off right when you save up to $9,500 off MSRP on new 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo Altitudes. You won't find a better looking, more powerful, and comfortable Jeep on the road. Your new Jeep is waiting at HoblettDodge.com. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$9,500 toll net savings on select new 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo Altitude up to $5,500 factory incentive and $4,000 dealer discount. Incentives include $1,000 Hoblet trade-in assistance with eligible trade-in and $2,000 make this the summer event retail cash. 3 of this net savings. Sample VIN 243062. See dealer for details.
You can buy golf clubs anywhere, but buy clubs that fit the shelf instead of your swing. That's why Hagen Oaks offers total game fitting. TrackMan dials in your driver and irons. Ping's Ballnemic Ball Fitter finds your perfect golf ball. Hagen Oaks Putter Fitting Studio helps you roll it true. And FootJoy's 3D foot scanner matches you with balance and stability. Whether you're a beginner or accomplished, your best game starts with the right fit. Hagen Oaks Golf Complex. Better fit, more fun. Fulton Avenue at Business 80.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave.
What's up? It's Matt George.
What's good? It's Alan Stiles.
With the most trusted voices in the community.
This is Jason Ross.
Hey, it's Kayla Anderson.
It's Whitey Gleason.
Ready to help promote your business, both as partners and customers. All you have to do is ask. Pick up the phone, dial pound 250 and say, grow my business to get connected with a team member today. That's pound 250 and say, grow my business. Our team will review your product, quickly pair you with a perfect endorser, and create video and audio samples details, all at no cost or obligation to you. With the most live and local on-air lineup, a dynamic content-driven website, and a state-of-the-art mobile app, Sactown Sports 1140 is tailor-made to help you connect with a sports audience in Sacramento. So why wait? Dial pound 250 today. Say, grow my business, and let us help take you to the next level. It's time for your Sactown Soccer Report. Powered by Sac Yolo Mosquito and Vector Control District.
This week's key matches include Jordan versus Algeria, England versus Ghana, Switzerland versus Canada, Turkey versus USA, Norway versus France, and Panama versus England.
In soccer, defense wins championships. At home, defense stops mosquitoes. Train standing water. That's your backline. Dress with sleeves and defend with repellent. That's your keeper. Keep your doors and screens tight. That's your shutout. Sac Yolo Mosquito and Vector Control District. More tips at fightthebite.net. A.m. to 2 p.m. Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
All right, I still have so much energy. Like, we talk about Friday energy. Like, mine's now to the next level.
I'm going to run through a wall. I'm hyped up, Kayla. I got to stand up out here.
I'm like pitting out here.
I'm ready to coach or to play. Jeez.
Holy smokes. Yeah, Brendan's not even sitting down because we're so pumped up. Of course, if you missed it, Virgil Phillips, youth director for America's Community Council up in Detroit, Michigan. He has been with Darius Acuff Jr. literally since he was a baby, coached his entire family. He was just on for an incredible interview. You can go check that out later on Sactown Sports. But man, I don't know what to say. He's going to be here. He's going to watch Darius. He said he'd come back in the studio. So if you haven't heard it, go back and listen. It's worth your time, man.
So good. My one request for the YouTube chat, I would just love to know what people's favorite portion of that was.
Same.
Because I can't pick. It was all phenomenal.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, talking about, I didn't realize the extent of family of the Acuffs that, like, he's saying is one of, he called it the best family, basketball family in Michigan.
Yep.
And how much Darius Jr. comes from all of that in a big basketball family. Love hearing that he went back to the community.
That was
just
a really
as recent
cool
as
thing.
Juneteenth. He went back around Christmas for an event.
Had the free camp, I think.
Yeah, really cool stuff to see, you know. I've been a skeptic of him as a basketball player.
Sure.
But gosh, if Coach V didn't just sell you on him as a person.
Oh, man. You should be
I'm
excited,
all in right now, Kayla.
Brendan is all in. And again, I just think it's such a cool time to share and get a closer look into these players. And we're going to try to, do the same thing with some of these other players. But I thought it was a fun thing to get somebody on who's known him for a long time. And look, Coach V, you're definitely a Sacramento, honorary Sacramentan in our eyes.
A Showtown. We're about to be Showtown Sports now, or what?
I think we're going to have to change our names.
Yeah, DA5. Also, really cool nickname, to be honest. I probably should have thought about that at some point, like CP3. A lot of people use this.
DA5?
It's got a little flow to it.
I think so.
You know?
He's coming up with all the slogans, y'all.
Apparently, it's been his nickname for a while. He's like, that's just who he is.
It would make sense. It would make sense.
So good.
That's really good.
So good.
Well, it's hard to move on, but I guess it's time to pick a side. Let's bring the energy as much as we can.
Oh, yeah.
Holy smokes, it's been fun. Of course, we got... Oh, it is next segment. Pick it. Look at me. I'm so excited. I'm skipping over segments at this point. But we were just saying, I wonder if he's going to come, Coach V, to California Classic or Summer League. He probably will be at one or the other. Of course, Summer League is coming up, Brendan, and we've got the schedule that you shared at the top of the show. It literally had come out at the top of the show. You can also go and check that out on our website a little bit later. It will be up. But I guess we're thinking, what do we want to see growth-wise from some of these rookies? We'll start with that because obviously there's some things we want to see from the second-year players too.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, this is going to be the first opportunity, assuming that they're out there. You never really know. We thought Devin Carter would be out there initially, and then he ends up having an injury. Cross your fingers, but as of right now, seems like everything's on track for that to be the case. Darius Acuff, Alex Karaban, and Emanuel Sharp We'll have some interesting stuff on Emanuel Sharp a little bit later, too, by the way.
Yes, we will.
But, yeah, I mean, I think for Darius, as, Coach V hopefully in the building for that, I want to see a little bit of that. Like, I would love a close game.
Same.
And Coach sitting there talking about, like, he'd look over like, calm down, I got this.
That might have been my favorite part.
And that would be awesome to see live. But more so, like, there's going to be a lot of good players on this Sacramento team, especially relative to Summer League level talent. And so I want to see how Darius makes life easier on Nick Clifford. I would love for Nick to actually be out there and he gets some ball handling responsibilities and Darius get to play off the ball a little bit. I think Karaban and Sharp are phenomenal shooters that should really be beneficial for Darius to not only space the floor for himself to get buckets, but to set up his teammates, right? And hey, everybody's been talking about your defense. Are you about to step this up at the Summer League level here? So some of the things that I'm watching for a little bit, who are you? Is it, I mean, it's just the Acuff that you got to be the most excited for out of these rookies, right?
I mean, absolutely. I'm pumped, and now even more so after that interview. I will say, though, Brendan, like, first of all, I do love Karaban and what he brings in terms of experience, and I think he kind of exudes a little bit of that, like, he's played a lot. He has like that. Again, when you get to the next level, it's always the next level. But you remember Nick Clifford in Summer League last year?
Yeah.
And he just kind of looked like he'd been there, done that. I feel like we'll see, at least in Summer League, a little bit of that from Karaban too. And I'm interested to see just how he looks out there with the other guys and just the poise that he might bring with playing so many years. And then for me, I'm just really intrigued by Sharp. I really am. Like, I've heard nothing since he's been drafted, guys. I've heard nothing but great things about him. Obviously, a lot of it coming out of Houston. Later on in the show, his great head coach, Kelvin Sampson, he's said some things about him and some things that I think will find interesting to the audience. But I think I'm intrigued to, like, see his, honestly, like, the way he plays defense, too.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I think kind of notoriously have a thing for like falling for second round players.
Yeah,
or like
which
two-way
is,
players.
I love that though.
And he's the defensive pick
I know.
in this. Like, I already know that I'm going to love Emanuel Sharp.
Yep.
Like what he brings, the Big 12 all defensive team, Houston record for amount of 3-pointers made as well. So
Which
like
is
you're still
impressive.
getting things on the offensive end of the floor. 100% impressive. Like this is a big time program. The same way of like, I forget what guest yesterday was talking about Alex Karaban. I think it was Nick from No Ceilings.
Yeah.
You being the winningest player in that franchise's history is crazy.
What did he say? Like, I could say DePaul, but
yeah,
like,
he did
we're
say
talking
DePaul
about
because he had some cousin or something that he just loves to take a shot at. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm really excited to see Emanuel Sharp. You got Keaton Wagler in that first game in Vegas. Put Sharp on him, you know? I guess that's an interesting question, right? Like, let's do that first Brooklyn game. There's one in Vegas, but also the first one in California. Do you put, I mean, Brooklyn might have a lot of point guards, so maybe this is complicated.
Yeah.
But just say, like, the primary point guard, right? Let's say
Okay.
it's Michael Brown for the sake of conversation. Do you put Darius Acuff on him for the challenge and you want to see him step up defensively?
Great
or,
question.
like Emanuel Sharp, that's kind of his job.
That's a really good question because I think I was listening to the morning show this morning and they had mentioned something about that where maybe you like that's the benefit sometimes of having him out there if they want. I mean, I think you need to challenge Acuff.
Yeah.
You know, at least a little bit at that point just to start it like that.
You probably get to do both,
I think you do
guess.
both for sure. But we want to see both of it as well.
Yeah. No, 100%. I thought one of the interesting things when Darius went on the Draymond Green podcast, he talked about like, no, I wanted to guard the opposing guards. Which, to be honest,
it didn't come off well for some.
I didn't love
You
it,
didn't
to
love
be
it.
honest, because I'm like, well, you want to be the guy guarding him, but you're not really guarding him. Like, so I'm curious if we will see that at a different level at the NBA. Like, these guys, whether it's Nick Clifford or whoever else is out there with him, I'd imagine he's going to have other players, assuming that some of those second-year guys come back. Primarily Nick that I'm talking about. Maybe Devin could be out there still, a third-year guy. But having other guys to ease some of that offensive responsibility, right, and allow him to focus more on the defensive end as well. Even if the money's going to be made offensively, that's the sell, obviously. That's what we're here for. But I am curious to see how much he's going to be able to step up that other end of the floor. And they got a lot of good matchups in order to do so, whether that's Milwaukee, Brooklyn, and there's another team in the California Classic I'm forgetting. But the matchups that we talked about in Vegas, you know, I don't think we're putting them on AJ DeBonta in that Washington matchup. matchup.
That might be a little too soon, too early.
The other thing, Kayla, I realized during one of the breaks is that the Kings are in the Thomas and Mack Center, the main arena.
You counted them. You were going through the schedule, and you're like, main arena. They're in it the whole time.
They're in the Thomas and Mack Center every single game in Summer League. Typically, just for people that wanted, a little bit of context, like that is the main gym. There is their practice facility gym where there's other games. That's always like tight to get into, and I think it's because of Darius Acuff, and I don't think there's any denying that. They're playing big matchups as well, but even the Boston game, that is in the main facility. The first game against the Clippers on night one of the Summer League in Vegas is the last game of the night.
That's going to be phenomenal.
And
I can't wait.
Is Darius Acuff versus Keaton Wagler in the main gym. Like, this guy, the Kings might get like a national game or two because of Darius Acuff being on their team as a rookie. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but I think that he is selling tickets for sure, even in Vegas.
You heard Coach V. It's about to be showtime here in Sacramento. All those S's. I love it. It's sensational. And coming up next, we'll have a fun time. It's Pick a Side. I tried to get to it even earlier because that's how excited I am about this show after that interview. Interesting, guys. Mitchell Robinson may not be back with his Knicks team. We'll get to that and much more. It is the Matt and Kayla Show here on Sactown Sports.
The Kings officially got their guy. Following a breakout season at Arkansas, Darius Akuff Jr. is headed to Sacramento. After adding one of the most electric scores in college basketball, has Scott Perry officially found the new face of the franchise.
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
The stars align in West Sacramento as the A's go head-to-head with the Los Angeles Dodgers for a spectacular summer series starting Monday, June 29th. Celebrate the start of the holiday week with an action-packed series. Be there to witness one of the most highly anticipated matchups of the season. Get your tickets now at athletics.com/tickets. That's athletics.com/tickets.
That's the sound of savings happening right now at Elk Grove Honda. You remember, right? Elk Grove Hondas are still cheap. And right now you'll find a good deal more on new Honda gas and hybrid Accords, Civics, CRVs, and more fuel-efficient Elk Grove Hondas. Every sale is done right here, under the flag in the Elk Grove Auto Mall. Come see why generations of families return again and again to Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, because Elk Grove Hondas are cheap.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
And we're live from the living room as Doug eyes up the matchday spread. He's reaching for the buffalo wing. Perfect. Hang on, what's this? Oh, he's gone for a can of Pepsi too. Incredible. What a finish. Sensational combination. Look at the delight on his face. There's no doubt about it. It just tastes better. Match days deserve Pepsi. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a pack of Pepsi Zero Sugar for today's match. It's poetry in motion.
Feel the force at Star Wars night with the Sacramento River Cats. Join us at Sutter Health Park on Saturday, July 11th for themed fun, costumes, and summertime baseball under the lights. It's one of the most popular nights of the season. Get your tickets now at rivercats.com.
At Folsom Chevy, General Manager Eric Wilson and his team are dedicated to treating you well and treating your money well. They want to know what you want, what you need to help you decide what's best for you. That's how you're treated at Folsom Chevy. Here's how your money is treated. Right now at Folsom Chevy, they're offering 0% financing for 5 years on every new 2026 Silverado half-ton in stock. That's right, 0% on a two-wheel drive, a four-wheel drive, an LT, RST, High Country, you name it. Folsom Chevy is truck country. You can find them at the Folsom Auto Mall, just off Highway 50 between the Hazel and Folsom exits. From the mountains to the levee, think Folsom Chevy. Together, let's drive. Find out more about the 0% financing offer at FolsomChevy.com. Must finance with GM and approved credit. $16.67 per 1,000 financed. Cannot be combined with other offers. Ends July 7th, 2026.
Pick a side, any side. It's time for Pick a Side on Matt and Kayla.
It is time for Pick a Side. A lot going on. We got some baseball, we got some NBA, and then an interesting situation in terms of the draft. I'm curious to see what we say on this one coming up in terms of it needs to go back to being something because they've changed it up recently. Let's start it off. Anthony, what do we got?
As a part of the next CBA, Major League Baseball wants a maximum contract length of 5 years for free agents who are switching teams. Do you like this?
They just want their hands on everything. What do you think? I'll let you go first.
So only for players that are switching teams?
Yes.
Yeah, and then what? It's 6 years length in terms of their already signed.
I believe so.
I think it's good.
Okay.
To be honest, I'm like pro salary cap.
I
think,
actually am too.
You know, and I get why players are going to come out and say, "Hey, no, like, what are we doing?" Bryce Harper being like, "Get out the clubhouse if you're trying to talk to us about a salary cap."
Yep.
But I do think it's good for the league. Admittedly, a Giants fan, I'm a Dodgers hater, so this definitely plays into it. But I do think that, you know, small markets do need a little bit of help.
I do
When
too.
it comes to this is why you see restricted free agency in the NBA. You can only offer supermaxes to players that were already on your team, bird rights, whatever it may be. I think this kind of stuff matters.
I do
so
too.
that way Kyle Tucker is staying in Chicago, or he probably didn't even start there. He was Astro, right? Whatever it may be. So all these guys that Shohei Ohtani staying an Angel, maybe that wouldn't be great for baseball, but would be at least more incentivized financially. The Angels would have better odds of doing it. They're probably, gonna mess that one up anyways. As I'm wearing an Angels hat,
I know,
by the way.
I'm like, man, gosh.
Yeah.
another
I'm
story
pro.
for another day.
I'm pro. I'm a fan of it.
So you kind of talked me into it because, look, I side a lot with players on a lot of things, but baseball is definitely probably headed towards a lockout, and I do feel at some point there needs to be a cap like other sports. I mean, look at the NFL.
Yeah.
And the NFL is the biggest sport in the U.S.
Yeah.
in
It
terms
can be
of
a high
revenue.
number.
Yeah, and it can be a high number, absolutely. I think it, obviously also in the salary cap part of it evens out a little bit. But in terms of this maximum contract, I look at it in a way, and obviously very different, you guys, with sports. But you know how college football is now the Wild West, and like when you enter the transfer portal and then you go to a school, there's like no rules. You can just hop back out, and there's just like so much
Don't have
chaos.
to redshirt.
You don't even know who the players are anymore because it's just, it's not to this level, but at least it's saying like a big time guy comes here, they're there for a little bit. So I kind of feel like it's a good thing.
Yeah. I tend to think the same. I think that some of these teams got to be able to keep their guys around. And I'm just over the Dodgers, man. I'm over the Dodgers. And,
Me too.
And Frankie, goddammit, like all the Yankees taking people.
Golly.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
I'm kind of on the same page. I think they need to do something. I don't know necessarily what they need to do. I don't like that Shohei can just like not make any money right now. Like that's insane. That's not a thing in any other sport, right? Where it's just like, I'll get paid later if you want to pay more people right now.
Deferring everything.
That's crazy.
It is I guess it is kind of the Wild West.
Yeah, there's some stuff that they need to do. I think this is an okay step in the right direction. I don't know if this is a huge deal in comparison to what they could do, but I'm cool with it.
All right, what do we got up next?
Reports are that Mitchell Robinson will not be back with the Knicks. Is this the right decision?
Should we start with Anthony on this one?
We got a Knicks fan
I've been around long enough where like Mitchell Robinson was the best player on the team in like 2018. Yeah, he could move a little bit better back then.
Scott Perry draft pick, by the way.
Yes,
That's
great
right.
draft
Yeah,
pick.
longest tenured, right, in terms of this team.
When Julius Randle got traded, he instead of being like, "I'll miss my teammate," he was like, "I'm the longest tenured Knick. I'm really a vibe." That's what that was what he said.
Let's go.
So Mitchell Robinson, the whole thing is right after they won a championship, their owner, Jim Dolan, said, "We will not be a second apron team."
Yeah.
And I think that they're just doing everything that they can to stay as close to what they had this season. And I think Mitch is just the easiest one to be like, we can't pay you. He's on decline. Like watching him, you can see that he's not the most athletic, but he used to be.
Sure.
It
well,
was
and then
a
he had
sharp,
that, broken
Yep, he had his broken a finger. I don't remember
yeah.
which one it was, but yeah, he's been injured a lot. He has a lot of knee problems too, which is a thing that's always been a problem. You never really know how long he can play in the game, so I don't know.
I think it's a hard decision, and I know that Knicks fans are probably like, what the heck? And it's hard because when you're the longest tenured player and you've brought a lot of joy to the organization and everything, and I mean, people love him. It is hard, but I think if we're talking about is it the right decision, all the things you just listed, and at some point you can't keep everybody, I think it probably will be.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is just kind of in a casualty that was necessary in a way with their financial situation. Anthony, do we feel good about Diawara stepping into this role a little bit?
I like Diawara. I like Hukporti. I like Ariel Hukporti. I think that he reminded me a lot of Mitch when they first drafted him. Nice. Young Mitch just gets into foul trouble immediately. Mitch used to foul out of every game.
Yeah.
So growing pains, and it's kind of hard to do when it's a championship caliber team. But yeah, I mean, they also had a couple second-round draft picks this year that I could see them trying. Mike just has a lot of figuring out to do probably the first 30 games of the season.
They did that this year too.
They did. It was crazy. They had 12-man rotation at the beginning of the season. Ended up a 7-man rotation.
Yeah, I like Mitch, but reality is he's a very replaceable role.
Yep.
Right? That backup center. I'm curious to see what sort of market he has out there in free agency. I believe that Robert Williams is also a free agent. That's the same archetype of player a little bit. And yeah, backup centers just kind of, you can find those guys, you know? Ideally, it's not like a Drew Eubanks. Sorry, I love you, Drew. I was a sicko, by the way. Sometimes this year, watching Drew Eubanks high school highlights.
I remember you were a fan.
He looks the exact same at Oregon State, or it was a smaller Oregon school, actually. It wasn't even Oregon State.
He went to Oregon State.
It was Oregon State? Okay.
Yeah.
Shack of Troutdale.
Yeah, baby.
That's right. So, yeah, I mean, you can find those type of guys to fill that role.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do we got now?
The NBA draft needs to move back to a one-day event. Yes or no?
So, I don't know, was this on air or were you talking about it off air with the Drive guys?
I think we talked about it on air a little bit.
Yeah, so Whitey especially was like, please go back to a one-day event. And we probably heard a lot of that after that second round. Everything, it wasn't polished really. And look, no hate on the talent. The talent's always great. But it was just, there was just a little bit of confusion and it seemed a little off. I'm okay with it going back to one day.
I don't know if I really care.
Yeah.
But to be honest, would kind of be my not really having a take, because I would bet you that GMs and front offices kind of appreciate it, because when the Kings are, we're thinking about Karaban at 29, for example, it's okay, well, you might be able to just if he's not going to be taken on this first day, whoever owns that 31st pick, you're getting a lot of calls for 24 hours, so I don't know. They might appreciate it. To me, I feel like people are already checking out by the time we get to pick 20 whatever. At the Kings watch party, after Acuff got picked, we get 3 picks later and it clears
Everybody
out.
was out.
I wish I took a video of the 4 people that were there when they traded for Karaban. I saw a guy post his own perspective and I'm like, man, this would have been hilarious to have a video of you, because one guy stood up and started clapping.
That's pretty funny.
I tend to think people already are kind of checked out by that point. It doesn't matter to me too much, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not watching the second day of the draft. I'm going to be real. I'm keeping up with it on Twitter. If it gives them more time to make deals, then that's fine. I don't care either.
If it was still on the same day, would you be watching still by the time they reach the second round?
It might still be on.
Yeah.
It'd be background noise probably.
Muted.
When it was the second round, they were still doing other stuff. It would go to SportsCenter.
Right.
And it would just be at the bottom like a ticker. The Jokic got drafted during a Taco Bell commercial. I think that's what they're trying to avoid.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just the reality of it. Really fast. Are you a pool or a lake/river person during the summer?
I'm a lake and river guy.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I have family that recently got a boat. Not a light little flex,
I'm
I guess.
on a boat.
And this was only within the last few years, so I've become more of a lake and river guy.
Man, I grew up on the river and the lake.
Yeah.
And nothing beats it. And being in Nashville and Columbus, where there's that's my recent stops. There was none of that. So I'm so happy to be back on the West Coast, because I feel like I have it like everywhere now. So I am back in my lake and river mode, baby.
Nothing beats like a early morning hike out to like a random lake or like a little river out there. Yeah.
Right?
Or Tahoe, hiking out near Tahoe. It's awesome. You just get to lay out, swim after like a 5-mile hike is awesome.
I'm going to say the Great Lakes almost don't count. Like to me, that's an ocean, dude.
You guys, it's so far up there too.
Yeah.
Like it is beautiful like in the summer, but that's way, 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 way up there.
Yeah. I've never been there, but the videos I see, I'm like, that's not a lake.
Nope.
That is way too big.
That is a big body of water. All right, coming up here in the noon hour, it is lunch break, and we've got a great guest. You know him. You love him. Did I say guest? A guest. Sean Cunningham of KCRA. We're going to get his thoughts on the Kings draft, that and much more coming up. On the other side, it is the Matt and Kayla Show, Sactown Sports.
Like and subscribe to the Sactown Sports 1140 YouTube channel at Sactown Sports 1140 to get the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Matt and Kayla, and the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles on demand and at your fingertips. Get your fix of the Sacramento Kings, 49ers, Giants, Athletics, NFL, NBA, and the latest in sports and entertainment all in one place at Sactown Sports 1140 on YouTube. Your local sports leader, Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Everyone loves to be outside, and so do mosquitoes. Protect yourself against mosquitoes and West Nile virus by following these simple tips. At least once a week, look around your yard and drain stagnant water from any containers where mosquitoes can breed. Remember to use an effective mosquito repellent, especially at dawn and dusk when mosquitoes are most active. Close all doors and be sure screens are in good working condition. At the Mosquito and Vector Control District, we're here to help. Visit us at fighttobite.net.
Is the volatility of the stock market driving you crazy? Is your retirement account sinking, yet you're getting older and you're starting to worry about, will I have enough for retirement? What about the money in the bank? These banks pay nothing these days. How do we get growth to get to retirement account? It's simple. Move into gold and silver. Want to know how to do it? Listen to my show, Striking Gold, with me, Kenny Michaels.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
My buddy dies, I show up to the funeral, open casket. We're still doing that? I've never understood open casket.
Yeah,
I don't get it. It's like, you told me he was dead. I believed you.
From the Monday Morning Podcast, his hit film Old Dads, and his latest Grammy-nominated special on Hulu, comedian Bill Burr, coming to the venue at Thunder Valley, Saturday, July 25th, with all new material. Get tickets at ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss Bill Burr.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, this is Adam Johnson, owner of Golf Fitness Solutions. Exercise and golf have been two important activities in my life. I opened Golf Fitness Solutions in 2013 to help my fellow golf enthusiasts improve their posture, relieve their pain, gain strength and endurance, and most importantly, hit the ball farther. From beginners to professionals, I've had success working with all ages and all skill levels, and I can help you too. Located in Carmichael, call us at 916-802-5175 or go to golffitnesssolutions.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
It is that time. It is lunch break here on the Matt and Kayla Show. Of course, I've got the great Brendan Nunes in with me today as Matt George is at a wedding up in the Pacific Northwest. We've got the great Anthony behind the glass making it all happen. And we've got a great guest coming up right now. And you know him, you love him. It is Sean Cunningham of KCRA. First and foremost, Sean, thanks for taking the time. How are you doing and how was this week in terms of the NBA draft? What'd you think?
Well, good to be with you guys. Yeah, the draft was quite eventful for Sacramento. I'm thrilled for Kings fans who finally have something to feel really good about. And I always know it can be an interesting spot for Kings fans when all of a sudden the national media and all these narratives are sitting there heaping praise on your organization, saying that things went so well and you may have won the night, you may have had the best player in the draft. Certainly, I think most would agree that you probably got the best scoring player in the draft, maybe the best point guard, and certainly a guy with a really bright future in Darius Acuff Jr. Mission accomplished for Scott Perry and the Kings, being able to not only get the guy that they wanted, but also moving back into the first round and snagging somebody like Alex Karaban. And I think what's really interesting, too, is if you're a fan of basketball in general and certainly a Kings fan, you get two of the biggest names that were in college basketball over the past year. I mean, these are household names in college basketball. That doesn't necessarily mean that it'll equate to success, but it's certainly something to be optimistic and encouraged about as you go forward and looking to, change the culture and the ways of this franchise to get back to being winners again.
What's going on, Sean? Appreciate you hopping on, my guy. What sort of music we listening to recently?
Oh, yeah, I want to know.
Fantastic question. Best question of the day. Thank you. I might spend 5 minutes on this, guys, so
yes.
You never. That's very dangerous. Jessie Reyes, her brand new album is absolutely fantastic. I'm a huge Jessie Reyes fan. That's probably the one that's been on repeat the most. I will say last night, Charlie XCX just dropped a very mature audience only. A song called Wink Wink, which was wild. You see the video too. It's quite interesting. So applause to her. She'll be at Outside Lands if you want to check her out. I'm trying to get down there myself. But yeah, it's probably dominating my listening habits and playlists over the past week or so.
Were we going to try to get to a concert? Because I think, Sean, all of us have a little bit of similar taste.
Yeah, I don't know, Sean. Would you be open to this Neo concert with us? That doesn't seem like your vibe.
No, absolutely.
No, he likes Neo. I think.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
First of all, very eclectic. I spray to all fields. Pause, and very much say I have what I often self-deprecating, my playlist looks like it belongs to a 16-year-old girl, so it's very current and modern. But I do go back and I have a whole bunch of stuff. That's why I'm always like the unofficial spokesman for Bottle Rock because they have everything. They have everything that I like, and most of which I've seen many, many times. Later this summer I'm going to go see Mumford & Sons down at
I love
Shoreline.
Mumford & Sons.
Yeah, and they've kind of changed into a little bit more kind of poppy alternative band as opposed to the banjos and folk stuff that so many people either turned their nose up or had fans that really like them. And now that they've gone to this more kind of poppy wave, now those fans are kind of conflicted and don't know if they still like them. So big fan, and I listen to everything.
Yeah, he says unofficial spokesperson of Bottle Rock. I don't think he's ever going to fully respect me, Sean Cunningham here joining us until I make it out to Bottle Rock. I've been trying to talk Kayla.
I need to go.
Okay, relax, Sean. I've been trying to talk Kayla into joining us over there at Pine Cove and a little karaoke too as well. I've been pitching people out here.
Please plan this.
Oh wow,
Sean. I don't know if Darius Acuff is going to have the same music taste as you or I. I'm going to guess that it's probably a little bit different. But Kings fans obviously really excited about what they got there. I remember you coming on the station here before the draft. Talking about how even if they don't get their, franchise superstar, they're at least getting a centerpiece. And TBD, what Acuff will be to what level or extent between those two ranges. But how big is it landing this sort of guy that you get to build around when they were lacking that in years prior?
Yeah, and I mean, to that point, like, whether it had been Darius Acuff, Michael Brown Jr., Keaton Wagler, Kingston Fleming, I would say the same thing about all four of those guys, to be fair, because as I've always put it, and I sound like a broken record, given how this franchise is currently constructed, the fans now have their North Star. And to have somebody that has such a high upside and had such an impact, as college freshman of the year and SEC player of the year, and being just elite. I mean, every time you look at a prospect, I think it's just natural, whether you're the casual fan or somebody who scouts for NBA teams or even internationally, you look at a player and you go, what is this guy best at? Do they have any elite skills? Oftentimes you say no, that there is no elite skill for most of these prospects, and it has to be developed, much like Darius Acuff's defense, which is getting just absolutely maybe overly critiqued at this point, because we've had so many months, a better part of a year, to really break down his game and see how it translates to the NBA level. And certainly while he is in check boxes as an elite three-way scorer in basketball, whether even at the pro level, that seems to translate so well. That's at least the boxes you can check to say he can shoot, he can finish, even though he doesn't have the greatest size. He is an elite scorer, and he gets those Jalen Brunson, Stephon Marbury. I don't know that you'd get everybody to agree that he's elite playmaking, but I think he does have that elite playmaking ability that can certainly be honed and crafted. But most players that you get don't have elite. You have things that they might be better at than others, but don't have an elite category to check. And I think for Darius Acuff to come in as a scoring guard and a ecosystem in which he steps into where, let's face it, outside of Zach LaVine, you don't really have a bona fide star scorer with respect to somebody like Malik Monk and Domantas Sabonis. They obviously serve a different type of role for that team. DeMar DeRozan obviously is on his way out, and maybe so are those other guys because they have such big contracts, and Scott Perry's made no bones about it and let it be known that he's trying to shed salary and get younger. So the ecosystem is that they're going to need their star of the future, and they're going to need somebody who can score. And let's face it, you make all-star teams by winning and being a scorer. So this is something to be very, very excited about for Kings fans. And yeah, they have a true North Star. Granted, they would have had that with some of those other guys, but I think this guy is somebody who comes in who not only has the ability to stretch his legs, be able to develop, but I think he can just absolutely impact this team the right way, right away, immediately. And you can see it. I mean, you look at the Summer League schedule that dropped. The NBA matchmakers want to see him go up against other top rookies in his class. And so you're going to see him play the likes of the Brooklyn Nets twice, which is Michael Brown Jr. And I'd encourage anybody to go back and watch the full game, the high school game that the two of them squared off against. Obviously, Brown did very well in that game, but you can see how far, in about a year's time, how far Darius Acuff has come since that game, especially considering his body. I mean, you just look at, his physique. This guy is very, very tough, and he obviously added some bulk to him in that year from going from high school to Arkansas. And, you just look at those other matchups. I mean, he's going to go up against like Keaton Wagler and AJ DeBonta, and it should be a lot of fun. I can't wait. I mean, and you also know that typically when you're down at Summer League in Vegas, you've got all the action. It's split up between two arenas. You have Thomas and Mack, which is the large arena on the campus of UNLV. And then you get these little smaller venues like Cox Pavilion, which can house volleyball and, some other be a practice gym for a lot of UNLV athletics. And they'll house some of the Summer League games in that Cox Pavilion as well. Well, that's for a lesser matchup, and the Sacramento Kings get all 4 of their first matchups in Thomas and Mack, so they're expecting big crowds down there.
Sean Cunningham, kind enough to join us today on the Matt and Kayla Show. Of course, great work at KCRA. We were speaking about this earlier, and I think Brendan asked the question, I'm curious in your answer, in terms of Summer League, who are you looking most forward to? And I'll take Acuff off the page on this one, and let's put Karaban and Sharp on there in terms of these rookies.
Yeah, I mean, I think you see how the roster kind of comes together. I think initially, if you're taking Acuff off the table, the obvious answer might be Karaban there, just to see how, his winning pedigree that he's had at UConn, a guy who's appeared in 3 national championship games and won 2 titles, how he can impact winning at the NBA level. Certainly, Summer League is not NBA level. It's really haphazard basketball a lot of times. But to me, my eye might go more towards somebody like Nate Clifford. Is he, if he ends up on the roster, which it just sounds like he will, I don't know if he'll be there for the full amount of time. Maybe it's California Classic. I don't have total clarity there, but seeing him play alongside these rookies, including somebody like Acuff, who throws absolute gems, in terms of getting guys lob passes at the rim and just setting people up. I want to see him maybe play a little bit of a different style than what we saw last year. I think he had some scoring moments in Summer League last year, and it was certainly a lot to like. But after having a year under his belt at the NBA level and the way he kind of, I wouldn't call him a connector necessarily, but the way he can just impact a roster, start any type of rotation and kind of fit, that's nice. I kind of want to see him take a little bit more of a lead role. Certainly, I've called because I've heard so many from Darius Acuff and people who surround him and his people, and they refer to him as an alpha. I don't necessarily think that Neek needs to serve as an alpha and kind of to play that role, but certainly take a front step forward in being a little bit more assertive, particularly on the offensive end, because let's face it, guys, we really felt for him several times throughout the year where you could see the shot wasn't going down and the confidence looked like it took a hit. But he's able to impact the team in a lot of positive ways, and if he could get some confidence with the scoring, that would, I think, go a long way for this summer and stepping into training camp and all. He's obviously going to change his physique a little bit going into a training camp and the season ahead.
Yeah, Sean Cunningham, KCRA 3. Joining us here on Sactown Sports. Shauna, I'm curious, I don't know if you have any insight into this or just who you think would be good candidates, but seen some interesting guys coach the Summer League team previously. Depeche Minstry last year, Bobby Jackson, Doug Christie did it at one point, obviously now leading that Sacramento squad. Do you have anybody sort of in mind that you're watching for potentially filling that role? And, I think we also don't know quite yet if there could just be changes to the coaching staff as a whole.
Yeah, solid question. I'm not sure. I haven't actually checked in on that part. Obviously, they went really, really young in doing so last year. I kind of think an opportunity that I would be curious about is somebody like Will Scott, who obviously is the G League head coach with the Stockton Kings. He's still around the roster, but obviously not a member of the coaching staff as it is. I mean, obviously him doing with the G League, so it would be neat to see something like that happen. But any one of those guys, I mean, he's got guys with NBA experience. There's a lot of he's got no shortage of candidates, but in guys who have done it before. I don't think you're going to see Mike Woodson do it. I can't imagine he'd want to. Bobby Jackson has already done it. He's had success. I can't imagine that would happen. But I mean, you look at just maybe somebody like Leandro Barbosa takes a huge step forward and puts himself into the mix of being able to take a summer league team under his wing and deal with the idiots in the media like Brendan and myself. So it'd be. I hadn't really thought about that, but I think it would be interesting to see. I think it'll be a first timer, somebody who hadn't done it before. So I would probably check Bobby and Mike Woodson off the list.
Yeah, you've talked, haven't been shy about saying that, Summer League isn't always the most enjoyable viewing experience, can be a little bit of messy basketball. a little being kind. I think that's more often than not what we're looking at. But what are you sort of watching for in these games?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of already touched on it, but it's really just kind of hyper-focused on players where you're not seeing what five plays well together. You're really just kind of seeing, can you close your eyes and envision this taking place in an 82-game stretch or an 82-game season, a player playing a certain role or playing a certain way and being adaptable. I bring up Nate Clifford because he's so adaptable. He's a guy that, can kind of be a plug and play, and you ask him to do something, he'll do it. But you also want to see him kind of rise to the occasion himself as a player who in his past has really struggled with confidence, really kind of showing that assertiveness. I just think it's so hyper-focused on when you watch Summer League basketball, you're really looking at how somebody commands the floor, what personality comes out of them, not really how they play. I mean, you're going to see guys. It's not going to surprise anybody to see Darius Acuff go out there, certainly get some points, get some numbers, jack up a lot of shots. He's probably going to struggle to shoot the ball for a couple of those games. He'll come out of another game where he looks, very efficient. But what's the playmaking like? What's his communication with his teammates? I don't think people realize it's like, yeah, you're drafted just a couple days ago, earlier this week. You'll step into a summer mini camp next week, and then you're in the California Classic. You don't have a ton of time to all of a sudden learn the games and the tendencies of your teammates. So it's haphazard for a reason. You're literally rolling out a ball and saying, go get it with just a few plays that are being called. And so how does Darius Acuff command the floor? How vocal is he? I mean, certainly dealing with him in the media, and if anyone's seen interviews with him or, anything like that, like he's a man of few words. He's not going to, wow you in any interview or anything like that. But what's his personality like on the floor? Is it different? And it seems like it's very consistent. It's a, speak when needed. Certainly not the most demonstrative guy, but I'm going to backpack this team. I'm going to put all of you on my back, and I'm going to carry you. How does he make other guys better? Is maybe something you're really honing in on. But just really the tendencies of these players and how they impact winning, how they impact their teammates, and just how they can handle the moment of all of a sudden being thrown into a situation that is obviously very uncomfortable and unlike anything they've ever experienced.
Sean, I know Emanuel Sharp, he was telling Chris Baldwin, he's a journalist down there in the Houston area, that he had that workout with the Kings. They left a big impression on him. He had a great energy, awesome guys, all describing Sacramento. But he's like, I had no idea that I was going to go there. With saying that, he ended up going there in the second round. I am curious of how much do you feel that Sharp could play this year?
Yeah, I don't. It remains to be seen. I wouldn't bet on it. Will he spend most of his time in Stockton? Does he end up a two-way? Is he a roster player? Second-round picks don't always make the team. So he's got a lot of work to do. But certainly he brings something and a skill set of being kind of a 3-and-D player that is sorely needed. I mean, can never have enough shooting. Clearly this team has a void of size and defense and athleticism. He brings the defense. He's definitely a nice on-ball defender and gets into passing lanes really, really well. I'd say he's got an uphill battle. Second-round picks, that's why it was so rare. You get a season that doesn't go well, and all of a sudden you're seeing the likes of not just Nate Clifford get a ton of playing time last year. Maxime Reynaud, a second-round pick who comes in and, you've got an injury to Domantas Sabonis. You have no size. He's the biggest guy on the floor. He gets so much playing time. And then even someone like Dylan Cardwell gets to, maximize the opportunity, get a two-way, contract, and then become a roster player, which is just unheard of, but it's kind of indicative of where the fortunes of the Kings were at that time. So it doesn't happen naturally or by, just like, oh, you're next up, Emanuel Sharp, go get your roster contract, go get your guaranteed playing time. It's going to be an uphill battle for him. So second-round picks, there's no guarantees. I'm sure they're high on him. I'm sure they like what little they've seen, and certainly a lot they've seen in college, but the little that they've seen in workouts and being around him. Go out there and perform like you did at Houston, and you should be able to carve out a little bit of a role for yourself. But I think it just might take some time and a whole lot of effort.
Sean Cunningham of KCRA3 joining us here on Sactown Sports. Sean, obviously there's the draft that's still in the show right now, but the Kings general manager Scott Perry still a lot of work to do, or calls to be made, conversations to be had this offseason about guys that are currently on the roster. Everybody's going to point to Domantas Sabonis, DeMar DeRozan, and Zach LaVine, but I feel like Malik Monk falls under somewhat of the same category and just doesn't get discussed quite as much. I know we've had a lot of conversations, and you've talked to me a lot about the impact that Malik has on this team. I think it's obvious to anybody that watches these games. What do you make of what his potential future could be, and is it surprising to you at all that it seems like there's not that much interest league-wide in Malik, at least at this contract value?
Yeah, and it just purely comes down to numbers. If he was making certainly, let's say $10, $12 million a year, he'd be looked at as one of the biggest bargains in the NBA. But unfortunately, from a numbers standpoint, from a business standpoint, and fortunately for him as a human being, and making the most of what he can with his opportunity and setting up his family, he makes a ton of money, and he's got a big player option beyond this year. So that makes it difficult to move. I would push back a little bit, like for the narrative that there's just no market for him. I always kind of scoff at a little bit. Certainly you see guys that have worse contracts in the league that have been moved, and I think everybody pegs him as a sixth man, and to me he's always just the kind of guy that embraces whatever role he's asked to play, and certainly makes the most of his opportunity. He's the type of guy you're going to love on your team typically, and he's going to be hungry for opportunity. I mean, people, they always like to harken back to the heyday of the Sacramento Kings, and when they had Mike Bibby and Bobby Jackson, and somebody like, they had two basically starting capable point guards who could start on a lot of teams, and Bobby Jackson was the spark plug and played a certain role. But make no mistake, he was comfortable with that role, but he wanted to start. He wanted to take Mike Bibby's role. So, Malik Monk is the same thing, but he's willing to play any role that's given to him and or asked of him, and he'll go out and do it. I do push back that I don't think that, people say there's no market for him. I would push back on that, especially with trade exceptions that exist with all these teams, and you're seeing some player movement right now. I just think a lot of times, you're trying to shed salary, and that would be a nice, it'd be a nice one to shed in terms of the number, but you're not just going to give players away either. So I think everybody looks at you as the Titanic, being the Sacramento Kings, and you're just desperate to get off of some of these numbers any way possible. And I think you kind of see that play out a little bit with the Domantas Sabonis, rumors that have been out there and reports. I think there is a for sale sign on the Sacramento Kings for a lot of their big contracts, but it's not an everything must go. And I think a lot of people kind of treat it as such, that they're in this desperation mode, and it's not just going to be something that they do where they don't get better. But certainly they need to shed some contracts, and they've got a lot of offseason to do it.
Sean Cunningham, you've been so gracious with your time. Of course, always go check out his work at KCRA. We'll probably see you back on the show, hear you back on soon. We got California Classic coming up. We got Summer League, so much stuff in the next month or so. Appreciate your time, Sean, and have a great weekend.
I will. What a busy weekend it is,
right?
By the way. I mean, it's like, you look at, we just had the draft, and then, California Classic's right around the corner. But for the non-basketball folks, it's like, oh, you got the X Games in town. Oh, yeah, you got, NASCAR in the wine
Are you
country.
going to be down there, Sean, at the X Games?
I'm gonna see.
Okay.
I know we will be represented. I don't know if it'll be me.
We're gonna see. It's today.
It's all weekend.
No, but it goes to the weekend.
Okay.
This guy. I'm a little bit more interested in some of the concerts over there as well.
Shocker.
Look out for our guy Nigel Houston from Davis. Just an absolute legend in his sport for the X Games. And if anybody gets a chance, go check him out. He is remarkable.
Sean, quick hitter. YouTube chat wants to know Prince or Michael Jackson.
Do not steer me wrong here, Sean.
I don't. Well, wait. What was the question?
Just
pick one.
Michael Jackson,
Prince or Michael Jackson.
Yeah, you got to pick one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm a diehard Prince fan. So sorry, guys. I got to see him in Oakland live. I never got to see Michael Jackson live. I will say, Michael Jackson, kudos to your music and all that. It never, I like it. Don't get me wrong. But Prince was the one for me that, that hit different. That hit much, much different. So
wow.
That makes sense.
No, did I just disappoint Kayla?
He broke my heart.
Oh, no. There's
it's
room
all right.
for both.
It's all
There's
right.
room for both.
We got to be different sometimes, you and I, Sean.
Have you ever seen either one of them in concert?
No, I mean, I would have paid a boatload to go see Michael Jackson.
This guy just flexing everybody he's seen.
I know.
in
He's like, I've
concert.
seen Prince.
Yeah.
No
Yeah, I
biggie.
saw Prince. I didn't see Michael Jackson, but I did see Prince. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Well, we'll see you sometime. We got to get out to, what is it, Pine Cove? We got to go to karaoke.
There's plenty of haunts in Sacramento. You can go anywhere and enjoy yourself.
Awesome.
Brendan knows my
Sean's at
lifestyle.
all of them.
Yeah, he is. All right, Sean, have a great weekend.
Appreciate you,
All
my
right,
guy.
y'all, you too.
All right, when we return, how about free agents? We haven't even talked about free agents.
Yeah.
With all the new guys coming in, who should they bring back? We'll get to that and much more on the Matt and Kayla Show here on Sactown Sports.
Darius Acuff Jr., Alex Karaban, and Emanuel Sharp. The 2026 draft class for the Kings is officially complete. Alongside Maxime Reyno, Nick Clifford, and a promising young core of players, do Scott Perry and Doug Christie have the right foundation to bring winning basketball back to Sacramento?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Friday forecast framed up with sun and clouds passing by. Temperatures this afternoon will be unseasonably cool. Highs across the valley in the lower 80s. It'll be a breezy afternoon, and it'll still be occasionally gusty during the day on Saturday. You can get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Oh, the Sacramento heat. Right now, get your AC professionally tuned up for as low as just $59 and enjoy your summer nice and cool. Plumbing, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com. Summer restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found tax relief advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax relief advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
MoonPay X Games Sacramento 2026 is taking on Cal Expo this summer. Catch live music performances and more than 100 top skate, BMX, and Moto X athletes compete. June 26th through June 28th. Get your tickets now at xgames.com.
Catch every soccer tournament match live on the big screens at Super Taco. Join Sactown Sports 1140 for the ultimate viewing parties. Win official jerseys, gift cards, and epic merchandise while enjoying great food. Bring your friends, wear your colors, and catch the action. Super Taco. Great food, great fun. See you there.
Hi, how can I help?
Well, my husband and I feel like we've outgrown our current money manager.
I see.
Our lives have changed, and we need something more than just mutual funds to help us in retirement.
She's right.
I hear that often. At Fisher Investments, we'd start by getting to know you, your finances, family, health, lifestyle. We tailor a portfolio around your goals and needs.
Sounds good.
Can you help with estate planning?
Yes. We have a team of specialists who can help you with estate planning, Social Security, investment income, and more. We'll get to know your whole financial picture and help keep you on the path to a comfortable retirement.
And your fees?
We have a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
I feel better already.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Are you looking for a night out that actually delivers? Grab your friends and head to Sutter Health Park for Sacramento River Cats baseball. We've got cold drinks, great vibes, and live baseball all in one place. Get your tickets at rivercats.com.
Remember the days of real country music? Now you can get your favorite classic country every day on 105.1 HD3 The Ranch. Listen to The Ranch on the free KNCI app or anytime at 105.1 HD3.
Dawn or dusk, I'm on the hunt. Skeeter here, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District, and I'm wearing Skeeter Vision, night vision goggles that light up skeeters at dawn or dusk like the 4th of July. Mosquito, 12 o'clock. Got him. So fight the bite by wearing long sleeves and pants at dawn or dusk when they're most active. Apply insect repellent and drain stagnant water. It's a breeding ground.
Dawn or dusk, the Sacramento Yolo Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you to fight the bite. For more information or to report problems, go to fightthebite.net.
Today on the pod, we're talking to Megan, trapeze artist and Scratchers enthusiast. So, Megan, what do you like about playing Scratchers?
Well, they're easy to play when I'm hanging around.
Oh, okay. Like when you're relaxing?
No, like when I'm hanging on the trapeze. I swing upside down, then do a quadruple somersault, all while playing Scratchers. Watch this. Ta-da!
Unbelievable.
I know, right?
Scratchers from the California Lottery. A little play can make your day. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to purchase player claim.
In celebration of 80 years of 49ers football, Sactown Sports is counting down 80 of the most memorable moments that have shaped the team's storied legacy and winning tradition. Here's today's faithful flashback.
Number 52, Hufanga's helping hand.
The 49ers beat Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers 13-10 in the divisional round in January of 2022 thanks to a block punt by Jordan Willis that was returned for a touchdown by Talanoa Hufanga to tie the game at 10. Here's a very hoarse Greg Papa.
They blocked the punt. They blocked the punt of Bjork as it's rolling free.
Pick it
on
up.
The goal line of 49ers scoop it. And Talanoa Hufanga scored. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Robbie Gould would kick the game-winning field goal as time expired, and the 49ers win and advance without scoring an offensive touchdown in the game.
Faithful flashbacks on Sactown Sports 1140.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back into the Matt and Kayla Show here on Sactown Sports. No Matt today. He's up in the Pacific Northwest. He'll be back here on Monday, but we've got Brendan Nunes, who has done a great job over the last couple of days. It's been really fun having you here. We've had so much to talk about. Of course, we have got our great guy Anthony back there making it all happen. We've had a ton of interviews, and we have another one coming up at 1, of course, with Deuce Mason. He does it all. You don't want to miss it because I'm sure he'll come in and throw us a curveball even.
Oh, yeah. That's very Deuce.
You don't never know what's going to come from Deuce, and we love that. So, but right now, I love the fact we were putting our heads together when we were doing the show, and it's amazing sometimes. I'm like a pre-planner. I think you've realized working with me, I do a lot of planning.
Yeah.
But part of doing radio and even TV was things also come about, you know, at the last minute. And that's what makes sometimes the best radio. And I feel like today's show has kind of been that. But you put together a great little segment here. So I'm going to let you kind of take the reins on this one because I think it's a great thing to put on our thinking cap and kind of think, okay, what do we want to do with some of these free agents?
Yeah, just a little bit of a reminder of some of the guys that were on Kings roster last year that are now entering free agency. Is there a reason to bring some of these guys back? Obviously, everybody's going to think of Russell Westbrook, and we will start there, but there are more names as well. And even if they are not going to come back to the Kings, I think it's always an interesting exercise and honestly a sign of a not very talented roster when you're looking at it and it's like, man, there's like 5 guys on the team that might not be in the league again, you know? So do we think that it would make sense for the Kings to bring them back? And also, will they remain in the league? Are there other teams that come to mind or anything like that? Let's start with the highlight, the one that everybody thinks about, Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
Right? future Hall of Famer, all-time leader in a lot of different categories, one of the best point guards of all time. If he was here, he probably wouldn't love me saying one of.
He'd be like, I am?
He's got a very good argument. But at least maybe top 3, top 5, whatever. Maybe I'm a Steph Curry guy.
I get that.
But Russell Westbrook, it took him time to end up landing on the Kings last year. He was heavily linked to them. They may have been waiting for some other things to get ironed out before they brought him in, but he joined after preseason at the very end of it and then played all of the year pretty much. He was one of the more consistent guys on that team when it came to being available. Where do you side, Kayla, on the idea of potentially bringing him back next year?
Dang, I'm so torn on this. I'm Brendan, I've gone back and forth on this. And I think beforehand, we were doing a lot of guessing before we knew that the Kings were going to land at 7. And we're like, well, if they get a guard, maybe then you bring in Russell Westbrook to kind of mentor him a little, to be his vet. Because I think last year what we saw, Brendan, was a little bit of towards the end when the youth movement started to happen. There was a little bit less like, hey, you guys have the ball to yourself. And talking about DeMar DeRozan especially, like maybe we saw his assists even go up a little bit more, like not as much as him just being the one that's taking the shots.
Yeah.
With Russ, even at the end where he would sit out some games, but you'd see him like in between timeouts, literally getting in there and coaching some of these young guys. He seems like he loves it. And I know he's not done with his career, and I know he doesn't want to be done, and he probably still wants to be a starter. But at what point does he realize maybe like, I don't have that market yet? I don't know what it is this year, but last year it clearly wasn't there. And it was a reason why he signed with the Kings. And I don't even think he knew he was going to come in to be a starter, because you know who was on the list here? It was Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah.
And so he eventually became a starter, but he was coming off the bench. So I don't think it would be a total shock if they asked him to come back and he didn't have any other, pursuers, and he was like a mentor for him. So in that capacity, if he agreed to come back, I feel like it would work out really well. Do I feel like it's going to happen, though, when it's all said and done? Probably not, because it's too much of like a fairy tale of how it all could work. So I'd probably say he won't be back, but I, in a way, like him to be.
Yeah, I agree with you. If it was pitched to him of, hey, you are going to be backing up Darius Acuff the entire season, that doesn't mean that they can't play together at times. Figuring that out rotationally might be a little bit weird. No promises there or anything.
Right.
But if he were to be accepting of, hey, we would love for you to come back as our backup point guard, with Darius is going to play 30 minutes a night, and your might be 15, 18. I would guess that Russ probably wouldn't love that scenario. But if he were open to that, I think that would be a great thing. I mean, what better guy to learn from? Everybody praises his work ethic, how disciplined he is all the time. So that's an interesting one for me. If he isn't a member of the Kings, do you think that he'd get a job elsewhere? Is there a chance that we saw the last of Russell Westbrook in the NBA?
It's really crazy, because the one thing I think that helped him, Brendan, was that he played well enough last year, and I think put out a pretty good example of he can still be that guy that can come off the bench for an organization. And maybe somebody else wants him in that role that maybe can pay him just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because I know the Kings are obviously strapped for cash, obviously, in the situation they're trying to get off these big contracts, probably can't give him a lot. There's probably at least maybe one other team that would, or maybe a couple.
Yeah, I'd be curious. It feels like, somebody could talk themselves into him. Even if it's one of these, I mean, he was willing to join the Kings last year. I don't think the Kings have very much expectations, and so if he's willing to go somewhere else, get more opportunity, maybe there could be somewhere for him. I feel like a couple quick hitters here, like Doug McDermott. I don't know. It feels like, he wasn't doing that much for the team last year. It wouldn't surprise me if we've seen the end of Doug McDermott.
I think so, too, on that one. And I think, at times those guys had to be playing, too, because there was just the injury situation. But, I think probably moving on from Doug.
You got Karaban now, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Next one, Drew Eubanks. I think,
Drew.
as probably on the way out. He was
just
entertaining.
I know.
I'm like
He
the
really
mic
was.
guy. I don't know,
He really
but
was. You're like, you're taking this too far, Kayla.
Let's maybe pump the brakes a little bit there. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with Domas, but obviously Maxime Reynaud sitting there. You got Dylan Cardwell as well. If they do move on from Domas, I mean, you want 3 centers on your roster. Maybe they go a different direction, or maybe they bring Drew back. But I don't know. I'm not super, like, he's another one where I'm like, would I be shocked if he's out of the league? I don't think I would be.
Yeah, I wouldn't be either. And look, there's always injuries that happen, and there's always late pickups that happen in those situations. So, out of the league totally, I don't know about that. But I think on this team, when you look at the centers you just listed, last year they came in not knowing a thing about what they were going to get out of their young guns, right?
Yeah.
And I think Dylan obviously was the one that surprised us the most and saw a lot of playing time. But now, like, their expectations are to play more and to step up their game even more. So you don't necessarily need those other guys at this point.
Yeah. Last one, I think everybody's favorite here, and what the YouTube chat is saying, that got to bring him back. Precious Achiuwa.
Oh, man.
A guy that I think really won over the hearts of Kings fans. I'll tell you, he was one of my favorite people to talk to in the locker room.
Huh? I know. I want to talk to him, too.
He was very fun. He was a big part of the Beam Boys. I think he's the one that inspired the sunglasses.
Remember, because he was like, just because I'm not a rookie, don't mean I'm old. Because I think at one point someone asked him a question about being a vet. He's like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. He's like, I'm pretty young here too. I think people got an impression of like him being a little bit like confrontational with the media. At times people like were asking me, I'm like, I mean, Precious isn't like a great interview, huh? And I'm like, I think he's phenomenal. Like maybe when it's on a podium or like after they were losing a lot of games, and that's tough. But like in the locker room, he was so much fun to talk to. I really enjoyed talking to Precious. Seems like a jokester, hanging out with the young guys. He went on the Old Man in the 3 pod or Young Man in the 3 pod with some of those guys. Apparently he was carpooling with Max for a lot of the year. But are they going to be able to afford him? It's more so, will another team be like, hey, we could use that kind of guy?
I think there's other teams interested. What I will say, I do truly think he wants to be back here.
Yeah.
There's something about him being here, the vibes, the resurgence in a way of his career.
Yeah, he said he wants to come back.
Yeah, I think he would even take a little less. I'm not going to say this for sure. Maybe a little less to come here if there was an offer somewhere else. I mean, it's not going to be a huge gap, but I do think he wants to be here. I think he's back.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be, fans would love to have him. It's curious to see what that role may look like. Maybe he is that other 5-man option, or where's he fit in the Karaban, and Keegan Murray, DeAndre Hunter. But Kings need some size, versatility.
I agree.
Defensively, he brings a lot out there, and seems to get along with a lot of the guys.
He's got the mindset. He's part of the culture that they're trying to build here. When we return, look, I'm going to do you all a favor. We have football, plenty of it to talk about in the future. So I'm going to hold off on the 2-minute drill just to get to Dwayne and TC. Yeah, I'm that loyal to our listeners who have been phenomenal this week. I want to get to your calls. So when we return, we'll talk more Kings, more draft. We'll get to you guys. That is next on the Matt and Kayla Show here on Sactown Sports.
With their final pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Sacramento Kings selected Houston guard Emanuel Sharp as a top-tier perimeter shooter and an all-defensive player for the Cougars last season. Did the Kings find the perfect wing to play alongside Darius Akuff Jr.?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Country in the Park 2, presented by your California Army National Guard, October 23rd at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Russell Dickerson, plus more. Enjoy line dancing, live DJs, mechanical bull, and food trucks. Tickets start at just $70. Country in the Park 2, October 23rd at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra, the California Office of Traffic Safety, and Caltrans. More info at CITPFest.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou, a term provider, 800-345-2789. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-345-2789. That's 800-345-2789 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-345-2789.
That's the sound of savings happening right now at Elk Grove Honda. You remember, right? Elk Grove Hondas are still cheap. And right now you'll find a good deal more on new Honda gas and hybrid Accords, Civics, CRVs, and more fuel-efficient Elk Grove Hondas. Every sale is done right here, under the flag in the Elk Grove Auto Mall. Come see why generations of families return again and again to Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, because Elk Grove Hondas are cheap.
This Green and Gold Injury Report is brought to you by the law firm of Gingery, Hammer, and Associates. If you've got an injury, just call Gingery. This past week, Luis Severino has been transferred from the 15-day DL to the 60-day injured list. Mark Leiter went on the 15-day IL due to a right hip impingement, and Brett Rooker was sent to the 10-day IL with a bone bruise in his left knee. Gunnar Hoagland will now officially miss the 2026 season after undergoing surgery on his left hip last Monday.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery. One of the most common questions I receive is, what makes us different from other law firms?
At Gingery, Hammer, and Associates, we handle your case from beginning to the end.
Whether your case reaches a settlement, whether it must go into litigation, or whether it has to go all the way to trial, we will be with you along the entire way. And because we are committed to your case, we are as invested as you are in making sure you get the outcome you deserve.
When you get an injury, just call Gingery. Thunder, feel the thunder.
It's the energy all around you.
Lightning and the thunder.
The thrill of the moments to come. The flash of lights. The rush of pure exhilaration. The roar of the crowd. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Your concert lineup is stacked with can't-miss shows on the Sactown Sports Live events calendar. It all starts July 19th when country legend Willie Nelson takes the stage at Ironstone Amphitheater. Then Cole Wetzel rocks Lake Tahoe Amphitheater at Caesars Republic July 24th. August heats up with Santana and the Doobie Brothers at Toyota Amphitheater August 8th. The Sacred Souls at Hard Rock Live Sacramento August 12th. David Lee Roth at Thunder Valley August 14th. And a huge night August 16th with Kane Brown at Ironstone Amphitheater and Toto at Toyota Amphitheater. Keep it rolling August 19th with the Black Crows and Whiskey Myers at Toyota Amphitheater. Ty Myers takes over Lake Tahoe Amphitheater August 22nd. September brings Sack Top for 2 back-to-back nights at Lake Tahoe Amphitheater September 11th and 12th. Then don't miss Leonard Skinner October 2nd at Ironstone Amphitheater and Ashley Cook October 10th at Ace of Spades. Stay up to date with every show on the Sactown Sports Live events calendar. Find all the details at SactownSports.com.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m., Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back into the Matt and Kayla Show as we wrap up hour 3, and we are almost reaching here the final hour of our show. I can't believe how fast this week has gone by. It's been a fun week. Wanted to remind everybody to get out to the MoonPay X Games. If you can, starting tonight, we will be on site. It will be me, Chris Watkins, and Bobby, our promotions guy. We will be out there. So if you are out there, come stop by. If you haven't gotten tickets yet, go to xgames.com. You guys, there's going to be some phenomenal athletes out there. You heard Sean Cunningham come on the show a little bit earlier. We've got a local guy. Help me if I missed where this was. I know it was up on our chat. We've got a local guy out there that's going to be participating in the X Games. So,
Nigel Houston?
Yes, thank you.
He's amazing. Like,
That's
all-time,
freaking
one of the greatest.
awesome.
He's been doing it since I was really young. And he was really young, too.
And what area is he from in Sacramento?
He's from Davis.
That is so cool.
He's great. Like, legitimately one of the best skateboarders of all time.
Chris Watkins came in here about 2 breaks ago, too. He goes, the setup, Kayla, is incredible. He goes, it looks so cool out there.
Yeah.
Tonight, perfect night, you guys. It is a breeze out here, so it's actually not too hot. And then we've got Cascade, Mustard, and Subtronics all the music acts.
That'll
happening.
be really cool.
Yeah, so get out to X Games if you can this weekend in Sacramento. But we're going to talk a little bit of basketball. We're going to go straight to our phone lines now. And let's start with our man, Dwayne. Dwayne, what's up? How you doing this afternoon?
Hey, what's up, though, homies?
Good. How are you?
What up, Dwayne?
Doing cool. I want to talk about Westbrook and DeRozan and Acuff if it's cool.
Yeah.
But as far as Westbrook, that's hilarious, bro. You got to get him out of the building quick, bro. Jesus Christ, that guy threw up so many bricks last year. It was crazy. He's part of the reason why the Kings shot so horribly from three. You can go ahead and double team off of Russ and leave him open. You want him to shoot. Just get ready for the rebound. Got to go, bro. It's over. And then DeRozan, nobody wants to see that ball-stopping, ISO, mid-range anymore, bro. Nobody wants to see that anymore. There's not even a lot of teams interested. So you got to get him paid and get him off the boat, too. Now, as far as Acuff, man, his camp sure did finesse that, bro. Man, this was choreographed for a couple months, man. I never seen a team choreograph a guy to a team like that at 7. Never saw that before. What a hustle. They even got Calipari involved, bro. The made man, you know what I'm saying, come in and put that finesse on it, too. You know Calipari been finessing for years. So it just got done so easy and seamless, bro. It kind of surprises me. So at the end of the day, you know, Acuff, oh, you know what? Yesterday I brought up DiVincenzo, right?
Yeah.
And you killed me, Brendan. But what about A.J. Mitchell straight up for Acuff?
Man, you're just trying to get rid of this guy, man.
Would you do A.J. Mitchell?
No, I mean, no, because like I think it's
What?
it's the value of already having this rookie contract too, right? Like you have control of this guy for probably about 8 years. Yeah, I mean, again, like I just think more often than not, these are guys that only have a few years left on their contract, and you don't know what Acuff is going to become at this point. You know, he could end up being one of those guys that is a franchise centerpiece. He could end up being the best point guard that the Kings have seen in their history, at least within Sacramento. Not going to just do big O like that. But, you know, I get, like, if you're talking straight up, would I be happy if Darius Acuff became A.J. Mitchell, that caliber of player? I think so. And AJ's like a very underrated player. I think people would roll their eyes at that a little bit. I'm curious to see if he could become even more in a different situation if he got more on-ball reps. I don't know, maybe slightly disappointing, but that's not a horrible outcome.
No.
You know, but yeah, I think it might be, I think he might be aiming a little bit low. And also, I think the contract and the amount of control that you have on a rookie, and you get those first 4 years, you get restricted free agency, like you have control of this guy if you want it for 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if 3 years from now, if Acuff's looking all right, like right now, if you called the Thunder and were like, give us AJ Mitchell for Darius Acuff, they are doing that fast.
I was just going to say,
you know,
in
like,
a heartbeat.
Yeah, you need, it's not equivalent value there. I don't blame you, Dwayne, for being low on Acuff. I am a little bit questionable about some of this stuff as well, but you do have control there, and there is potential that you got to see through a little bit.
Hey, Dwayne's always going to bring it here, and sometimes it's the opposite of what others are thinking. But
I love a contrarian.
That's why, me too. I think it's definitely something we always need. This guy I agree with, though. We just think alike. We're going out to TC. What's up, TC?
Hey, Matt. I said Matt, my bad, Brandon.
That's crazy, TC.
Brandon,
Come on, man.
What's up, man?
What's up, TC?
What's up, bro?
Yeah, listen. Dwayne is my dog, though. He cool, though, but I 1,000% disagree with everything bro was saying. I'm not trading Acuff for nothing. See, but Dwayne's guy in the draft was Nathan Mint. He was liking people like Nathan Mint, that guy Sergio. He was liking like a bunch of just random guys. So I see why the homie is pushing back on Acuff. Kings fans, why are we pushing back so hard? We won. We never win. We never win anything as Kings fans. We won. We got a franchise-moving player that wants to come to Sacramento, that finally came to Sacramento. When the Kings want something, it's always a hiccup. Somebody always takes it away from us, or we never get it. We finally got it, Kings fans, and we don't want to enjoy it, and we don't want to love it, and we don't want to accept it. We won, Kings fans. We're finally, Scott Perry and BJ are finally finna turn this organization back around. We got a glimpse of it being team year with Monty McNair. But this, what Perry and BJ is establishing, bro, this is going to be to come along. He's going to establish a winner. I don't know if we're going to be a championship. One day we'll get there. but being an established team, a top 6 team in the West, not a top 10 team, a top 6 bona fide playoff team moving forward, we're getting there, bro. And this kid is going to be a part of that, the main guy. We're going to forget about the Luka talk. We're going to forget about the Fox talk. We're going to forget about all of that when it comes to this kid, bro. Dwayne, that's not a shot, bro. I love you, bro, but I disagree with that 1,000%.
TC, we love you. TC is like now after having, Coach V on, he brings the Coach V energy every time.
Oh, yeah. I love TC.
Yeah.
I love Dwayne, too.
I do, too.
I love the passion for both of these guys. I think we got like a little Mike Beasley, Lance Stevenson going on here. Like, we need to see these guys. They might need to call in at the same time and just go at it. Anthony's going to have to be ready on the bleep button.
Right?
I love the passion from these guys. Oh, I'm sure.
I love it.
Yeah, it's cool to see. And it's cool to see both sides of, I think more people side with TC, to be honest, like at least from what you've seen online, vocal minority, Twitter, whatever it may be. But Kings fans are excited. I think it's good to have a healthy amount of skepticism too, and just keep everything in check a little bit here.
Matt, we will hope. I don't know. Is this our Matt? Okay, it's not our Matt. I was going to say, man, Matt, I've got to say this, but we've got Deuce Mason coming up to start the 1 o'clock hour. But Matt, if you want to either call back or stay on the line, we'll get you right after Deuce Mason. Deuce Mason coming up here on the Matt and Kayla Show here on Sactown Sports.
The Kings officially got their guy. Following a breakout season at Arkansas, Darius Akuff Jr. is headed to Sacramento. After adding one of the most electric scorers in college basketball, has Scott Perry officially found the new face of the franchise.
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-881-8686. That's 800-881-8686. 800-881-8686.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown 411 16th Street and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Feel the force at Star Wars Night with the Sacramento River Cats. Join us at Sutter Health Park on Saturday, July 11th for themed fun, costumes, and summertime baseball under the lights. It's one of the most popular nights of the season. Get your tickets now at rivercats.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-934-1870 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-934-1870. That's 800-934-1870. What do you have to lose? Call 800-934-1870. Again, 800-934-1870.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back into Sactown Sports as we round out the show in the final hour. Been a fun Friday show, and this next guest will not disappoint. He always brings the energy. He's been everywhere. He was at the Combine. He was out there at the watch party, doing everything.
He's been in these seats before.
He's been in these
seats before. We had to get him out of here, though.
Brendan's like, we kicked him out. But now he's on the show. It is Deuce Mason. Deuce, what is up, my friend? How has this week treated you? It's been crazy, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been so fun. But can I just say one thing first?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
You understand how happy I am to be on this show when Matt's not here. Because you know what would be? It'd be like, hey, Mike Brown, De'Aaron Fox. I'm so sick of hearing Matt with this split Knicks Spurs jersey on cry about Mike Brown and De'Aaron Fox. In fact, I think he likes Mike Brown more than his own child.
Dang, Deuce.
I believe it. So, Deuce, I wanted to ask you about Mike Brown, actually.
Actually, we're actually spinning this interview, Deuce. We're going all Mike Brown, De'Aaron Fox.
How much credit does De'Aaron Fox, does Darius Acuff deserve to wear De'Aaron Fox's number 5?
Dude, I was pitching that Darius Acuff should wear 55.
Same here, Deuce.
The last number 7 pick in Sacramento was a point guard out of Florida, Jason Williams. Bring back the cool 55, but no, it's cool that he's wearing 5. And now, Neek, what number does he go with? I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, I've had number 10 in college, and right now that's DeMar. I don't know. I think people could read between the lines a little bit there, maybe draw some conclusions.
Maybe.
Yeah, Deuce, obviously Darius does kind of steal the show a little bit, but I actually wanted to start with the Kings' other first-rounder that they traded up for, Alex Karaban. You and Morgan Reagan do great work on the Do Some Mo podcast, and I know you had Dan Hurley on the pod to talk about Karaban. Without giving away too much, because I want to encourage people to go over there and listen to that full interview. First of all, how difficult was it to land Dan Hurley? What a land by you, and what sort of takeaways did you get, and how you feeling about that second first-round pick for the Kings?
Well, I appreciate that. Dan was awesome. Yeah, I think my biggest takeaway is just Dan absolutely adores the guy because Alex approaches the game the right way. And, I think the Kings got what could be a really nice role player. And as this late first round, second round evolves in the NBA draft, right, it's shifting a little bit. There's so many players that are going back to college because of NIL. So I think Sacramento was looking for someone that could fit their culture that they want to build. And to have a guy that's been a leader of a team. You hear some of his teammates talk about him, they get emotional talking about him because of what he's meant. And then just his play style. Okay, he's got good size, he can shoot it, and he's a good team defender. To me, he checks a lot of boxes as someone that can come in and fit the right role. I think it's so important to have players that understand who they are. I think Alex understands that. I think Emanuel Sharp out of Houston understands that. In fact, it's funny. When I was in Chicago at the draft combine, I was watching the scrimmages, and, I'm just sitting there watching. I'm like, who is this Emanuel Sharp? And I'm like, oh, yeah, he went to Houston. I walked away liking him. That was like one of my guys I circled, like, oh, I wonder if he could be a guy for Sacramento. They eventually work him out. But again, another guy who just knows his role. He's going to go in there, knock down shots, play tough defense. And so I think as Sacramento tries to carve out like who they want to be as an organization, finding players that want to sacrifice, that want to do the dirty work, who could play tough defense, like those things are very important going forward, and having like good leadership too.
Deuce, it's amazing. Like, and I just got here, right? I've been here not even a year yet, but obviously, like, there's people who are just wanting the organization to get to where it needs to get to. There's some that are believers now and hyped up because of this draft, and some that are like still like, wait a second, like, I'm going to be cautious here. But when it's all said and done, they do get some hope with this draft, and especially with a lot of people really liking Darius Acuff Jr. And even if they didn't before, I think maybe some people are slowly navigating in that direction. Did you feel like at any point, Deuce, like this really could be the guy? And how much did that relationship with Scott Perry factor into this?
I wonder about the Scott Perry dynamic with that. I mean, I think it factored in from the standpoint that, like, he has a good feeling that he could get good information on him. He's got a great relationship with his dad. He coached him. So I think that helps, but I don't think he was like, well, I know his dad, so I'm going to draft him. Right. I mean, if Darius Acuff was averaging 10 points a game and, not doing anything, like, he's not going to be on the team. Like, I mean, for full stop, it's like, no, this guy was one of the most talented guards in the country last year in a class that had a lot of talented guards. I mean, the hope should be there, I think, for Kings fans, and that's exciting. And for me, like, you can have hope, but you can also be realistic. Like, the hope is, wow, this guy has the talent to be a premier player in this league. But to be realistic with it, this Kings team is still a ways away. They're still trying to figure out how to cut salary. Like, how are they moving off some of these contracts? It could be another year with some of these guys. But it starts with, can you find a young talent? He's 19 years old. The Kings, the last few years in the draft, they've been drafting some older prospects. And that traditionally happens when you're talking about like late first, second round picks with, Neek and Maxime, and then of course getting Dylan on a two-way, eventually converting that. But like, they haven't had that young prospect that has some offensive firepower. And to me, I look at Acuff and go, this guy could absolutely be a star at the next level. Now, what has to happen? Well, he's got to, one, step up defensively. And I'm a little more optimistic on that front than some others. I've seen some stuff. When it was Team USA against the world, he showed more defensive, a more defensive approach than I had seen at all at Arkansas. But he may not be a lockdown guy, and that's okay. He's not going to be. He doesn't have to be Gary Payton, but he's got to bring the effort and the awareness and be locked in enough defensively at the next level. Otherwise, it could be problematic. From an offensive standpoint, though, I don't have many questions about what he's able to do.
Yeah, Deuce, how do you feel about, the situation that obviously he's walking into in Sacramento, and it seems like he's going to be handed the keys? How beneficial, obviously growing pains would be expected with a rookie guard. I could see him flirting with Rookie of the Year contention, though, with how much it seems like they're going to hand the keys to him. How much do you expect there to be hiccups throughout that process, but at the same time beneficial to his growth as a player?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just natural for a rookie, right, to have those. But I think in terms of how the Kings want to play, I know a lot of teams want to play this way. They want to play fast. They didn't play fast. And how inconsistent were they pushing the ball last year? Yeah. Darius Acuff loves to push the pace. He wants to get up and down the floor. So I think offensively, there could be some growth there. And, if Sabonis is still on the team, that two-man game could be interesting. You've got some more size up front with DeAndre Hunter and Keegan Murray. Okay, we'll see what else they do there, too. But I just think he could be so nasty offensively, and he's going to get the opportunity. And I think everyone talks about his scoring. I think he's a better playmaker than people give him credit for. I think he reads the game well. I think he's good at throwing lobs. He's good in some pick and roll situations, but he also doesn't need a screen to create his own shot and collapse the defense. So there's so much that he does well out there, and I'm really excited to see how it looks.
We've got Deuce Mason on, does so much stuff. Obviously, Deuce and Mo podcast, Kings broadcaster on NBC. He comes on this show occasionally, just back in his old stomping grounds. When Matt's not here. But we had Darius Akuff's youth coach on earlier, and he had told us there were moments, even when he was younger, that they'd be at like these state championships, and they'd all be so nervous in the front, and like he'd be causing a scene and like all this stuff, and Darius would literally be like, no, calm down, right? And so with my question, it's how much do we feel like this guy, even in the highest pressure situations, like how beneficial this could be eventually? Obviously when you first get into the league, it's a little overwhelming, but eventually it's like you can't really teach that, right?
No, I mean, the guy doesn't ever seem rattled. I feel like even listening to him in some of these interviews, he just wants to play basketball. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you saw him in big moments throughout the college season come up huge. He's not scared of taking the big shot, the tough shot. It doesn't faze him. And, yeah, that takes a different type of mentality. And I think he has that. So, I even think from a toughness perspective, I think he's a tough player. And that's why even we talk about the defensive side, like, all right, he's got a 6'7" wingspan. Like, I think he plays tough offensively. Like, he's not afraid of contact. He plays hard. It's about, can they develop the defensive side of the ball? And to be honest, I mean, that's where Calipari, I just disagree. Like you said, he didn't care about the defense at all. I'm like, well, yeah, you can tell. And I just think that hurts a young player, especially when you're learning the game still. There's no accountability. There's no coaching. It's like, oh, no, just go play offense. That can hurt you. But I think that with Akuff's ability to read the game, I think he'll pick it up. And so, yeah, I mean, I think you talk about his poise, not being afraid of the moment, the toughness. He checks a lot of boxes for Sacramento.
Deuce, we're talking about obviously he's going to have a lot of opportunity, TBD, and no secret that the Kings are shopping a lot of these veterans, Domantas Sabonis, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine. I think Malik Monk falls under that. But curious your perspective on how much having a veteran mentor there for Akuff would matter. If in your mind that's something that would be a reason to maybe retain some of these guys, at least even if it was, say, first half of the season. You mentioned like how he would play really well off of Domas, or, there's the Russell Westbrook question that people throw around. Is that something that you kind of circle and like, hey, who's going to be the mentor for this guy?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the guys I was thinking about, and I don't know if this guy would even be interested in this role, is Mike Conley.
Yeah.
Someone who is the ultimate professional. Okay, he understands the position. He also understands the defensive side of the position. And he obviously is not what he once was, but I still think he can play some minutes on this team. But more importantly, to have Akuff have a mentor like that, I think would be so important. Conley is just a gem of a teammate. He's played in big games. He's had to evolve his game. When he first came in the league at Ohio State, couldn't really shoot the ball well. People were questioning him. But the way he turned into just such a professional player, how he approaches things, you can't find anybody to say a bad word about Mike Conley. And I just think that is the exact type of player that understands kind of who he is now and could definitely be a great mentor for a young point guard like Darius Akuff.
Deuce, we got to get to that second round, and we talked a little bit about Karaban in terms of Sharp. Like, I was joking. I was like, didn't even mean to say this, but sharpshooter, of course. But also the defensive side of him. I know that you saw him at the Combine, like you said, and you were like, oh, maybe we could get him here. Were you surprised at all when they took him? And I don't know, how much do you feel like he could play? And I know it's a work in progress when you're second round pick, but he does have upside on both sides.
He totally does. I think the biggest concern for me is just his size, right? He's 6'2", 6'3", a little undersized. He does play bigger to me. I think he's a good rebounder. He gets in there. I think defensively, he's not afraid to be physical, get into guys. I personally love players who played at Houston. Kelvin Sampson, his guy. If you play there, you are playing defense or you're not playing. And you saw that, Kingston Fleming's being one of those guys. Chris Nack being one of those guys, and of course Sharp, and Sharp gets after it. And so, I look at Karaban and Sharp, I go, these guys kind of look like role players to me. It's not like there's some huge swing for like, oh, they could be stars in the future. Both of these guys seemingly understand who they are as players, and that does matter. And so as the Kings are trying to figure out, who is going to be here long term and try to establish an identity that was not established last year. Let's be honest about it. You had like the veteran group who started the season, then you had all the injuries and the young guys, and it felt like two different teams to me, right? Like it's like, okay, you got the young guys and Precious who light the beam and they're playing hard, they're losing, but and then you had the other guys who were just around a little bit. And so they're still trying to figure out and set up that culture in year 2 of Scott Perry. I think Sharp can definitely help with that. I'm excited to see what he can do out there, but I definitely think he can carve out a role. Now, the question is, like, okay, what's that mean for someone like Devin Carter? What's that mean for all these guards they have? I mean, I think it's pretty clear that, Devin was not drafted by this front office. And when they add someone like Sharp, you're like, okay, maybe Devin's long-term future is on Sacramento.
Yeah, definitely could see that pointing in that direction. And you mentioned, a full year under Scott Perry now, his leadership as general manager here in Sacramento. 2 drafts, an entire season, and albeit sort of maybe unfair wording, but like stuck with a handful of contracts that's limited his flexibility. But how much do you feel like we've learned about Scott and what he's really looking to build?
I mean, I think we have a pretty good idea of what he would love to do. But like you said, I think that's the word. It's like, you're stuck. I mean, he didn't trade for Zach LaVine. Sabonis' extension was not signed by him. You know what I mean? And you're in this situation where you still have a really expensive team. And I'm interested in the next couple of weeks. How are they going to get off some of this salary? I think it's huge. Of course, they could, buy out DeMar DeRozan for $10 million, but that's one step. I don't know. That's going to be really challenging. But I think Scott, you see the type of players he wants. And the things he talks about, you're like, yeah, that makes sense. You want to be able to have depth. You want to be able to have a toughness, a physicality. You want to have teams that can shoot the ball and share the ball. I mean, I think every team wants that type of versatility. But, it's easier said than done when it comes to building a roster when you have some limitations with the cap. So what can you control? I think, in all fairness, last draft, he didn't have a first-round pick. He traded into the first round. Okay, we'll see what Neat Clifford turns into. Got Maxime Reynaud. The Cardwell pickup was huge. And then this year, all right, you get the 7th pick. You got the guy that seemingly you absolutely loved. Who knows, if they're at the 5th pick, are they picking him? Probably. I don't know how high they would have gone with him, depending on where they finish in the lottery. But then you like another guy, you trade into the first round and get your guy. So I think I've liked his approach to it. Unfortunately for all of us in Sacramento, you want this turned around fast, but like you have to exert some patience. You're asking a fan base to be patient. That's been beyond patient. They've seen one playoff appearance since 2006. That's really tough. But I think at least there is that level of excitement with Darius Acuff, who has some serious upside.
Just a few days here until the deadline for Zach LaVine to make his decision on his contract. I think we would all be pretty surprised if he decided to turn down $50 million. I know I certainly would not do that. What do you think? I think Domas is the one that people throw around of expecting to have value in a market out there. But in your mind, is there a team, or even if you can't name one specifically, but can you imagine Zach LaVine helping a postseason roster?
Yeah, I mean, I can because of his ability to shoot the ball. And it's to me, it's like Zach LaVine he's a fine player, right? The problem is with a lot of players in Sacramento over the years, they're miscast. Mm-hmm. You're asking Zach LaVine to be one of your best players. Well, on a championship team, what do you think he would be? Like a good 3 or 4, fourth option? You know what I mean? Like right. If you're really a stacked team. And his contract is massive, $48 million. I'll say this too. Look, I've never made as much money as Zach LaVine. Breaking news at this hour. He's made $209 million in his NBA career. Oof. Okay, that's a lot of money. If I was Zach LaVine and I didn't want to be in Sacramento, I'm going to opt out and go still make a lot of money somewhere else. I'm not going to make that. I don't know. I'd rather be somewhere that I have a chance to win and still make a lot of money, not $48 million, but be in a situation. Why waste a year? I don't know. That's just me. But, it's his money. If he wants to opt in and have that $48 million and, play kind of a weird role in Sacramento for the final year, I guess he'll do that. I just think there's risk involved there. I mean, what if the Kings play him 20 minutes a night and he's, all of a sudden, averaging 12 points a game, and then free agency comes and he's getting paid like the mid-level? Was it worth it? I don't know. I didn't answer your question yet. Sabonis, could he help teams? Of course. Here's my thing with Sabonis. If you're not getting good offers for him right now, don't move him. You don't move him just to move him. I think last year the roster around him wasn't great. Not a lot of spacing, not a lot of shooting, not a lot of pace. He wasn't in a good rhythm. He was banged up, and then he got hurt and missed the rest of the year. His value is lower than ever. I'm bringing him back. I'm hoping that you got your healthy around him. You've added three-point shooting. That's something we haven't talked about either. All the guys you drafted are legit three-point shooters. Let's see if Sabonis can thrive more in a faster pace offense with more ball movement and shooting. We've seen it before, and it looked pretty good. Could that help him, repair his value around the league?
Okay, so Deuce, and that's a great point made by you in terms of the three-point shooters and adding that, because that's something that has been missing from this Kings team. But one of those guys who came in as a rookie in terms of Keegan Murray, that was part of his game. And obviously we haven't seen that from him. He's had some injuries as well. I am curious, though, what do you feel like we need to see out of Keegan Murray next year? First thing first is health. But other than that, in terms of his game?
Well, I think similar to Sabonis, he needs to be in an offense that has some ball movement out there, that the ball doesn't get sticky. I mean, obviously he's got to knock down shots. And last year there was no rhythm for him. He plays in 23 games, but it wasn't 23 consecutive games. It was I got hurt, come back, hurt, come back. That's tough to deal with. I hear he's looking good right now. I heard he's 230 pounds ripped. I don't know how long he's going to stay at 230 when you start playing games. But yeah, I want to see Keegan knock down shots again. Can you get to be a 36, 38% 3-point shooter? And then once you're in an offense where you're not just standing around watching the ball be dribbled to death or ISO mode, I think he could thrive in the system. You have to put your players in the best position to succeed. And I think Sacramento has an idea of how they want to play. That's why you think about Acuff pushing the pace, his ability to move the ball, Sabonis, what he can do as a screener, as a hub. I think they could be pretty fun offensively. Defensively, it might be a nightmare, but you gotta get Keegan going offensively. I'm not worried about his defense.
Deuce Mason of the Deuce and Mo podcast and Kings broadcaster for NBC Sports. Deuce, what do you make of Doug Christie's first full season last year? And how much did you feel like you were actually able to evaluate him as a coach, considering how weird of a season it was, injuries, players moving around, and everything that was going on? How you feel headed into year two with him?
Well, it's funny because you think about, he took over for Mike that season in December. He had the Fox trade. I mean, you talk about just a lot to handle. And then you go into this year, everyone's feeling good, and then you have all those injuries. Yeah, I don't feel like he's had a very smooth situation to take over as a young coach who's trying to figure out and learn on the fly too. That's the other thing. He's still learning, Yeah. I would say my biggest criticism of last year is I felt like they leaned on the vets too much. That was just my perspective. Too many games I'm seeing DeMar play 37 minutes, and I'm like, hey, Meek played 12 tonight, And I think there were opportunities to play the younger guys sooner and get them time. And it wasn't about losing games. I wasn't on that. I was more like, hey, what are you trying to gain here? The game to me is establishing a style of play. And if the young guys are playing a style that's more conducive to what you want to play long term, you got to go with those guys. I don't feel like he found the best balance there. But on the flip side, when later in the season, I felt like all those young guys were bought into what he wanted to do. You saw certain guys thrive. Max's growth under him, right? Meek got a little more comfortable as the season went on. How Precious performed in a bigger role. I think there were definitely good things for him. I'm interested to see what it looks like going into this season, if they can, make some of these tweaks, have more of a younger and more athletic team that plays the style he wants to play.
Deuce Mason has been our guest. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're a busy man. We always love it when you're able to come on the show. I guess, we got the California Classic coming up.
Yeah.
Are you guys headed also down to NBA Summer League?
Yeah. I'll be at the Classic, of course, and then I'll be in Vegas July 9th through the 14th, checking out some Kings.
Deuce is the one I try to hang out around in Vegas because he's getting into all the crazy parties. I'm like, Deuce knows everybody, man. It's ridiculous.
Relax.
I'm just saying.
He's VIP, man.
Yeah, Deuce, appreciate you hopping on. Just so you know, try to reach out to Mo first. I just want to let you know you were an amazing second option.
Wow, I was the back. Wait, are you guys going to Vegas or is that unclear yet?
So Brendan, the whole digital team is, and the Late Show. We are not going. I'm going to push for next year. I need to be down there 1 year, guys, to experience
It's fun.
it.
It's so fun. I just love watching basketball all day. So
yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna try to make it to the Summer League, by the way, to one game. So
yeah, out in California.
Or sorry, the California Classic.
Yeah.
California Classic. Yeah, that's gonna be great.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Fun. Well, thank you so much, Deuce. Have a great weekend, and we'll all catch up soon.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate
Thank you. It's Deuce Mason, of course, NBC broadcaster for the Sacramento Kings. You can check him out on the Deuce and Mo podcast.
Great guy.
He's always great, always brings some really good perspective, very honest in his opinions, which I very much appreciate. When we come back, the MLB mini-series, let's just say this, I'm smiling ear to ear.
We give a trophy out today?
Not today.
Okay.
Monday.
Got you.
But it won't be going to Matt.
Love to hear that.
I know. So we'll see what is going on with that. Plus, you guys, we told Dwayne, our friend that is a big hockey fan. He's always in the YouTube chat. We're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming NHL draft that starts tonight. The Sharks with 2 picks in the first round. That and much more coming up next on the Matt and Kayla Show. Sactown Sports.
Darius Acuff Jr. is a Sacramento King.
The Sacramento Kings select Darius Acuff Jr. from the University of Arkansas.
After a private workout and an entire offseason of speculation, the 6'2" point guard fell to the Kings at number 7 and will be the latest young star to take the floor in Sacramento. Will the SEC's leading scorer continue the small guard resurgence in the NBA?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Catch every soccer tournament match live on the big screens at Super Taco. Join Sactown Sports 1140 for the ultimate viewing parties. Win official jerseys, gift cards, and epic merchandise while enjoying great food. Bring your friends, wear your colors, and catch the action. Super Taco. Great food, great fun. See you there.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Maida Subaru says yes to big savings on the new Subaru you want during the sizzling summer sales event on now. Visit MaidaSubaru.com today for special spring savings on over 225 new and certified pre-owned Subarus.
Made a great deal at Maida.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special as a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Imran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby, insight, and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Woo, we are getting close here. Almost done with the show. We've got the drive guys coming up for crosstalk in a minute. But right now, we get back to the show. We've got the MLB miniseries. I'll give you the update. But we have some updates in terms of new numbers for the Sacramento Kings rookies. We've had our chat involved too, so we wanted to just go over the fact that they've been announced. So Alex Karaban will wear 33. Emanuel Sharp going to wear number 34. And as we brought to you at the start of the show, it was made official that a seventh overall pick in the first round for the NBA draft, Darius Acuff Jr. will keep that 5. He will wear 5. But Brendan, it was Nick Clifford who had to give up that number, and you've got a little update for us.
Yeah, I got a little bit of information here that, from what I'm being told, that Nick Clifford had already expressed some interest prior to this point in changing his number. And how it will currently work, obviously that works out well for Darius Acuff, but being told that Nick will wear an interim number, a temporary number for Summer League, and before finalizing what will be his number going forward for next season.
Okay.
So this was a move that Nick was already looking to make.
Okay.
Works out pretty well for Darius
this.
Acuff stepping in at number 5 there. And yeah, we'll see a temporary number on Nick for now before he fully locks in what's going to be the case moving forward for next year.
I love that little nugget from you. It is great when things happen organically too, which seems to be the case here with Nick giving
Worked
that
out
number.
Beautifully.
It really did. I am going to take a wild guess, and this is just a guess, guys. I think it's going to be 10. He wore it at some point in college.
Yeah.
That's just my guess. So you all take your guess. That's my guess. Later down
Which,
the
as
line,
we've
we'll
said,
find out.
I think the interim number thing could be kind of funny. This is no longer, any sourced information, but
Right.
just speculating a little bit here. He wore number 10 in college. DeMar DeRozan currently wears that number.
Yep.
And so, if that's what he was looking to do, he couldn't currently claim it.
Nope.
And if they were to move on from him, then obviously it would become available. So if you're a believer in how reading between the lines here a little bit, maybe that's what's going on.
Yeah, we'll see. It is Numbergate.
It is.
Here on Sactown Sports.
We're fully here. Alan will eat this up.
He will eat this up. All right, let's get to our MLB mini-series update. Let me roll these shoulders back here. I see that trophy in my peripheral vision because I think it might be coming my way, but I'm not going to say for sure yet. Let's just start by this. I did get another win as the A's avoid the sweep yesterday afternoon. They beat the Giants 9-6. So first of all, congrats to the A's for avoiding the sweep because it was looking not great at some point. So I get the win there. Matt loses. I don't like the second part of this as my Mariners fall to the Pirates 5-1, but he does fall because he had the Mariners. And then Anthony, I am rooting for you, but this was a tough loss again.
No, I won.
Wait, you did?
I had the Red Sox.
Oh, you
Right?
did? Okay, I took the wrong... Look, see, this is why you don't let me do the...
Or was I wrong? I don't remember what I took, actually.
I thought you took Kansas City and Tampa Bay.
Honestly, you might be right. I just remember taking the Red Sox
Did the
at
Red
some
Sox...
point. The Red Sox won. But
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, and you didn't take them prior, right?
I don't remember. We'll go with what you said. That's probably right. I just thought that I had the Red Sox.
I don't want to like put you out of a win. I don't. Who did they?
I
play?
do remember you saying the Red Sox
Okay,
yesterday.
No, that's my bad, guys. So let's. Anthony wins. So what was the? Let me write this down here.
It was 6-3.
Okay, so look at me. I'm trying to cheat him out of a victory here. All right, so the Red Sox win 6-3. So you get a victory as well. Who'd they play again?
They played the Yankees.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Big underdogs.
Wins, Red Sox, defeat 6-3?
Yep.
Okay. So who are you going with today then?
I think I have to take the Angels over the Athletics.
Okay. I don't know what I was looking at, y'all. This thing is like it's just gone over and above my head. Okay. And so I am taking the White Sox today. Oh, are we going head to head?
No, Angels play the Athletics.
Okay. So I'm taking the White Sox today. I don't know who Matt's taking. Eventually I'll find it. This is too confusing for me.
Who's left for him?
Goodness gracious, man.
He was going to pick something wrong anyway.
I know. I'm just like,
luck is
we'll
ran
figure
out.
it out off air. I don't have the time to do it right now. Real quick, too, on the MLB note, Mets fire their manager, Carlos Mendoza, after a 34-47 start to the season. Dude, the Mets cannot get out of their own way.
No.
They have money that they give to players. They have stars there. They have Mr. Met. But, like, they just can't figure it out.
No, they can't. It's a mess over there, and it's especially unfortunate. We're talking about like the Dodgers and Yankees earlier, and why the benefit of a salary cap. Like the Mets are spending money. That's not their issue. You know, obviously, Frankie over here was very upset, Yankee fan, when Juan Soto made his way over to the Mets, and they have not been able to quite figure it out. So got to be frustrating. It always, cracks me up a little bit though, listening to, I don't know if you've heard Zach Lowe. He does his little Mets corner.
Yeah.
And he's just never happy.
Never happy.
And I think it's reasonable.
I have literally from 3 different markets I worked in, 3 different friends that are diehard Mets fans.
Yeah.
And they are just in misery constant misery. Yeah. So I feel for them, but at the same time, I'm like, you're New York. Come on.
I know. It's like it's still New York.
Exactly.
I do love to root for like the little brothers, though.
Same.
The Mets, the Nets, the Clippers, like the Angels.
Yeah.
Like those are always the ones. I'm always an underdog guy.
I get that. I'm an underdog.
I don't know if
gal,
Mets
too.
count as underdog, but like I guess within their own
Right now.
city, sure. Yeah, right now for
sure. Yeah, no, they count. Okay, so you grew up in San Jose.
Yeah.
And I know you said you're not the biggest hockey fan, but look, hockey, if you've never been to a game, I always encourage people, watching hockey live, especially at the NHL level, is awesome. And the San Jose Sharks went through a little bit of a drought, and now they're back. And they have, tonight is the first round of the NHL draft. By the way, this is being held in a really cool spot, KeyBank Stadium in Buffalo, New York. They had their really good run in the postseason. They've been irrelevant. The Sabres have in terms of hockey for a minute, but they had a great season. So it's cool that and fitting that the NHL draft is there this year. Sharks have the 2nd and 9th pick in this first round.
And 27?
This is insane.
Yeah.
Like, I truly feel, Brendan, like they barely missed the playoffs this year, but I think they were even a little bit ahead of schedule. I'm telling you, I think this could be a team next year that could go deep into the playoffs.
I tend to think so too. Maybe a little bit of homerism in me, but it's funny how missing the postseason ends up working out in their favor because they had a ridiculous lottery night, moving up to number 2.
Yeah.
After I said I didn't watch that much hockey. I'll tell you, Macklin Celebrini is going to make me watch some hockey, man.
So you talk about Darius Acuff up here.
Yeah.
Hockey down there, having Macklin Celebrini. I mean, they've had a jump start. Obviously, he's been there. He's been phenomenal.
Yeah, really cool to see him have that connection to the area already, with his dad being I think I'm getting the title wrong, but it's like a strength and conditioning coach or something to that extent with the Golden State Warriors. So right down the street, that's really cool. You see Draymond and all these guys going to games wearing Sharks jerseys. But yeah, I mean, landing that number 2 pick, they're in a very interesting, there's almost a debate on how you build your team right now, because they need defense desperately, right? They have Will Smith sitting there as well.
Sure.
They have a lot of offense, and the defense has been lacking. The number 2 pick, though, it seems like best player available
the winger.
is the winger sitting there, Stenberg.
Yep.
And people are like, well, do you try and go for defense? And in my mind, that's probably why they traded for this number 9 pick. They trade away one of their young talents in Eklund to move back to 9. And there's some good defenders sitting there. Can you find that sort of level of defender at 9? Or, is Chase Reed somebody that you're willing to go in there and take number 2?
Yeah.
I'm always in any sport, and maybe there's instances where fit would matter a little bit more. But if there's a tier break in your draft board, you take the best player available and you figure it out.
There's in hockey more than any other sport, I feel. And that's why I think you take the winger up there. You at 9 take a defenseman, and then you get to parcel out the rest of it.
Yeah,
so
can figure out something with 27. I mean, you also wonder could there be some trades that take place tonight? Do you get a little bit bold with, feeling like, hey, that we weren't that far and we could probably get a really, really good player for number 2. So would you debate going in that sort of direction? Going to be interesting to see what they do. And yeah, I'm really excited. You said it. Hockey games are so fun to be at, man.
They're
there's
cool.
something about low scoring games that every time there's a goal, everybody's standing up. You're hugging the person next to you. I don't even know this guy.
Your beer's flying.
Yeah. I'm making friends with everybody there. It's a great time.
Yeah,
great time.
It's pretty cool. So NHL draft starts tonight. But when we return, we will wrap up the show. Crosstalk with Whitey and Allen. That's coming up next on Sactown Sports.
The Kings landed Darius Akuff Jr. at number 7. But that wasn't enough. Just before the end of the first round, Scott Perry moved back up to select UConn forward Alex Karaban as the winningest player in UConn basketball history. Will Karaban's shooting ability and championship pedigree help build a new winning culture in Sacramento?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
That's the sound of savings happening right now at Elk Grove Honda. You remember, right? Elk Grove Hondas are still cheap. And right now you'll find a good deal more on new Honda gas and hybrid Accords, Civics, CRVs, and more fuel-efficient Elk Grove Hondas. Every sale is done right here, under the flag in the Elk Grove Auto Mall. Come see why generations of families return again and again to Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, because Elk Grove Hondas are cheap.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It's the energy all around you.
Lightning and the thunder.
The thrill of the moments to come. The flash of lights. The rush of pure exhilaration. The roar of the crowd. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
This Green and Gold Injury Report is brought to you by the law firm of Gingery, Hammer, and Associates. If you've got an injury, just call Gingery. This past week, Luis Severino has been transferred from the 15-day DL to the 60-day injured list. Mark Leiter went on the 15-day IL due to a right hip impingement, and Brett Rooker was sent to the 10-day IL with a bone bruise in his left knee. Gunnar Hoagland will now officially miss the 2026 season after undergoing surgery on his left hip last Monday.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery. One of the most common questions I receive is, what makes us different from other law firms?
At Gingery, Hammer, and Associates, we handle your case from beginning to the end.
Whether your case reaches a settlement, whether it must go into litigation, or whether it has to go all the way to trial, we will be with you along the entire way. And because we are committed to your case,
We are as invested as you are in making sure you get the outcome you deserve.
When you get an injury, just call Gingery.
And we're live from the living room as Doug eyes up the matchday spread. He's reaching for the Buffalo wing. Perfect. Hang on, what's this? Oh, he's gone for a can of Pepsi too. Incredible. What a finish. Sensational combination. Look at the delight on his face. There's no doubt about it. It just tastes better. Match days deserve Pepsi. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a pack of Pepsi Zero Sugar for today's match. It's poetry in motion.
Are you looking for a night out that actually delivers? Grab your friends and head to Sutter Health Park for Sacramento River Cats baseball. We've got cold drinks, great vibes, and live baseball all in one place. Get your tickets at rivercats.com.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave.
What's up? It's Matt George.
What's good? It's Alan Stiles.
With the most trusted voices in the community.
This is Jason Ross.
Hey, it's Kayla Anderson.
It's Whitey Gleason.
Ready to help promote your business, both as partners and customers. All you have to do is ask. Pick up the phone, dial pound 250 and say, grow my business to get connected with a team member today. That's pound 250 and say, grow my business. Our team will review your product, quickly pair you with a perfect endorser, and create video and audio samples all at no cost or obligation to you. With the most live and local on-air lineup, a dynamic content-driven website, and a state-of-the-art mobile app, Sactown Sports 1140 is tailor-made to help you connect with a sports audience in Sacramento. So why wait? Dial pound 250 today. Say, grow my business, and let us help take you to the next level.
Mark your calendars because MoonPay X Games Sacramento 2026 is landing at Cal Expo June 26th through 28th. Witness nearly 100 of the world's best athletes compete in skate, BMX, and Moto X events and catch live music performances by global electronic music icon Cascade on Friday night and Grammy-winning producer and artist Mustard and electronic music producer and DJ Subtronics on Saturday night. Don't miss MoonPay X Games. Lock in your tickets now at xgames.com.
It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
Yeah, let's go. Friday. Hey, how's it feel out there? We got the drive guys with us.
Breezy
We got
today.
Whitey and
Very
Alan.
good,
I know,
yeah.
I heard it was breezy, but it feels good, right? Not too
Feels
chilly.
good. If you have allergies, buckle
yeah.
up. Just buckle up.
I'm using that nasal spray every morning.
It's rough. It's rough in these streets. The city of trees
I know.
can get you every time.
I know.
Every
Ooh,
time.
We got the Jersey boys in here today.
That's
We've
right.
got
That's right. The Jersey
We got
boys.
the Kings. That's Cardwell, and then
Yeah.
we've got Michael Jordan when he played in Birmingham.
That's right.
During his baseball days.
That's right.
That's pretty legit too. Did you guys plan this?
No, let me be honest with you. You know, look, I'm not the fashion police, but Whitey went
Debatable.
Whitey went Jersey yesterday.
Yeah, white
So
jersey, and then
I thought I was in the clear to go
I don't blame
Jersey
you.
today.
I don't blame you.
Okay.
And then Whitey doubles the jersey up.
That's funny.
Which I did not expect, but we're here
No,
now.
I like it. I like it. It's
he
a
doubled
Friday.
up. He went home and away Jersey.
Sure. It's
Okay.
cool.
You know.
Are you like, as the baseball guy, how'd you feel about the Michael Jordan baseball
I know.
experience?
I always like to ask people
underrated.
Underrated?
You know, if he focused.
Could have been good.
If he focused.
I've
man,
only seen him in Space Jam.
Throw him in right field.
Yeah.
Throw him in right field.
Yeah.
You know, wiry
Yeah.
swing, quick twitch. Come on, Whitey. I didn't
Dude,
say anything.
I'll tell you what though, Birmingham ate up every second of that. Man,
Yeah.
I made some money in
Yep.
in that time.
Can
Holy
you
smokes.
imagine social media?
No.
If he had done that.
Oh, it would have been
It
ridiculous.
would have been crazy.
I feel like we need something random like that.
Shohei needs to go play in Stockton, man.
Something random. Remember
sweet.
when, who was it? I think towards the end of his career, Nate Robinson tried to play football.
Yes,
for
he did.
We need something
He did.
like that.
Yeah.
We haven't had a random sports story.
Everybody's
besides the
talking
Phillip
about
Rivers.
LeBron
You're
going
right.
to the Warriors, to the Cavaliers. He's going to the
Browns.
Browns. Tight end.
That's
into
what
the
we
Browns.
need.
You know who is underrated, really underrated? Deion Sanders was a really good baseball player.
Was
Really?
he underrated though?
I think he's not remembered for how good he was.
He's misremembered.
Yeah, he is misremembered.
No. I know he was good. I'm questioning Was he underrated?
Well, I just think people tend to remember him. Oh, yeah, Hall of Famer football. But
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't just play baseball. He was
I could
good.
probably be an example. I don't think I know the extent of like what level of baseball player Deion
Yeah,
Sanders
that's
is.
well, there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Would you guys say if Kyler like had a big year, let's say, got back on the map and then just randomly decided I'm going to go play baseball and played at the minor, do you think that would cause any type of like pop in their sales?
I think it would cause pop if he did it right now.
Yeah,
I don't
really?
even think
Okay.
he needs the
resurgence a little?
Yeah, I think
You know who
if he did
drafted
it right
him
now.
in the first round?
Oh, yeah.
It was Oakland, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
he could, I mean, Russell Wilson could have played baseball.
And
if
I'm
he
telling you
wanted
right
to.
now, if Kyler wants to come on out to Sacramento, he could hit home runs in
Yeah.
that park right
Really?
now.
Yeah.
Right
Southern Health
now.
Park.
By the way, Alan Styles will be out there tonight.
Let's
That's
go.
right.
River Cats
Cats
back in town.
River Cats weekend. Tomorrow's Summerween, so come dress
that.
up in your best.
out there tomorrow night?
Wait,
Halloween.
are you doing a?
They said I should dress up, but I don't know what I'm going to wear.
Oh, you'll figure it
I
out.
don't know.
You'll figure it
Wait.
out.
I don't know.
I feel like chat. Let us know if you have any ideas.
Yeah, appropriate ideas.
Appropriate ideas. I would love to hear that because
Just get a Birmingham Barons hat.
yeah, you could just do
I'm not
that.
gonna, if I wear a jersey, I'm not
Oh, it
wearing
can't
a
be. Yeah, it
jersey.
can't be that.
To,
It couldn't
to
be of the posing.
dress up,
Okay.
you know, right?
I mean, you could be an agent, like you could like really savvy.
Might
you know,
be hot. You know,
He's gonna be out there in a suit.
I'm doing bubble battle in a suit. That ain't right.
Who's that superhero that you like that got hit by static electricity or whatever?
Oh, Static Shock?
Yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, it's kind of niche. I don't know how many people would get it.
Definitely
my
niche. I'd be like, what is this guy? Is this the old Warriors mascot?
Thunder?
Yeah.
trying to think. Could you dress up like anybody at the station that might be a giveaway? You know, like I feel like there is like there's
What's so funny?
So
face you made was
yeah.
Oh my
If you were to be Kayla Anderson, what how do you do this?
I need the wig to
Yeah.
start,
Right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
know,
yeah.
and glasses. I'd
Yeah.
have to go in that direction.
Okay.
And then I'd
Okay.
probably just keep the headphones on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Matt, I could get a bunch of fake tats.
There
and
we go.
Talk about Narnia. No, it's not.
Lord of the Rings,
He's gonna kill you.
Narnia.
He's gonna kill you.
All you
That's the best comparison.
That
Mike
is
Brown,
so-
Gandalf,
Yeah.
Mike Brown.
No.
Oh, you can wear a Fox jersey.
Yes. Tattoos.
Yes.
Gandalf.
Hat.
Narnia. Fox.
Yeah.
I think we figured it out.
Yeah.
I think that's
Got
the
to the bottom
giveaway.
of it.
And I will come home to a block number from Matt George. So
Oh, yeah.
thank you very much for
He will
that.
be
It's not
like,
already blocked?
Oh, you know, sometimes I'll send a text and the bar stops. So
Yeah.
what's going on
Yeah,
with the service here?
So the jerseys came out today, you guys, and we were all wondering what was going to go on with Acuff. And we heard, obviously, that Nick Clifford gave up that number. Brendan just gave us a report that maybe he was already thinking about that.
Okay.
But when it's all said and done, Acuff gets the 5.
Yeah.
Were you guys surprised at all that Nick was like, yeah, here you go?
I'll give you my little bit of context real
Yeah.
quick. I was on my Alan Styles. I was talking to people.
Okay.
Okay,
Good.
I heard
Schmoozing?
something.
Schmoozing?
I heard something.
I love
Okay,
that word, by
and
the
what
way.
I was told is that Neek was already considering and looking to change his number. So this actually worked out well for Darius Acuff, obviously taking number 5, and that what's going to take place is that Neek will wear a temporary number in Summer League until he figures out what he wants to wear for next season. If you'd like to speculate, that's the end of the reporting, right? If you'd like to speculate, he wore number 10 in college at Colorado State. You know who currently wears number 10 for the Sacramento Kings?
DeMar DeRozan.
So if there's a reason he'd be waiting to lock in a number, but that's speculation.
that's
All I
speculation.
was told is that he's going to wear a temporary number. He was already planning on switching.
Right.
And a temporary number will be the case for Summer League.
Summer League temporary number sounds like one of those things they tape on the back.
Yeah.
It keeps falling off.
Right.
Hold on, time out.
Oh, those-
The
those
three number,
bibs.
the 4 numbers like you yesterday. Wyatt.
If I know I'm
Yeah.
wearing a temporary number, I might get crazy. I might Taj Gibson it,
Yeah.
you know?
Let's go.
The significance there is that he's going to wear 5, which was Fox. And now
Oh
it's
yeah,
like
I wasn't.
just-
Yeah, no,
Oh,
I was
all the way.
I wasn't even thinking about that. But the 29th, that's where everything, if they were to move on from
Yeah.
DeMar, that could all start on the 29th, correct?
I believe so. Yes.
So that,
Yes.
I mean, we'll find out here sooner than later.
Yeah.
But I'm glad Acuff got 5. He's got the 5 chain. I was like,
Yeah.
he didn't want to go to the jewelers, get that all redone.
You gotta change it to an A.
Yeah, that would suck.
We learned that DA5 is the nickname.
DA5 is his nickname.
DA5.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the only reason I kind of poo-pooed the De'Aaron thing is because they let Neek wear it.
Yeah.
I know he wasn't. It's a little bit different.
But it was already gone.
This is different, Alex.
It is, and you're doing an Allen impression.
This
You're
is
not
different.
You're not slick. But you know what? Out with the old, in with the new. Door open.
Oh,
door
Miles
closed.
Turner. We're closing the book.
We're closing the
And
book.
then he closes it and he goes,
Real quick, what's coming up on the drive, guys, today to wrap up the week?
We're looking at the possibilities of a guy the Knicks don't want to keep.
Oh.
Gone to Sacramento.
A little Scott Perry guy.
What?
Scott
Doing
Perry
this.
guys. Yeah.
Wait, this isn't you this time?
No, my Wi-Fi was out at my house, the whole Natomas area. So, Whitey,
The toe?
Look at
I wouldn't have allowed this. I wouldn't have allowed
You
this.
wouldn't have allowed
No. You?
Oh, I'm interested to see how this one goes.
Big Mitch on the show.
Yeah.
No.
Big Mitch, baby. Let's
Come
go. That and much more coming up on the drive, guys, here to round out the week. You're listening to the Matt and Kayla Show. Thanks again for everybody. Thanks for Brendan filling in this week. Thanks, Anthony. Thanks to all of our guests. Have a great and safe weekend. Peace.
Narnia.
The Kings officially got their guy. Following a breakout season at Arkansas, Darius Akuff Jr. is headed to Sacramento. After adding one of the most electric scorers in college basketball, has Scott Perry officially found the new face of the franchise.